Hello, good morning and welcome. Thank you so much for choosing us. This is Breakfast Daily here on ChannelOne Television. I am Nana Tufo Boate. It's a Monday morning. It's the start of a new week, and we can only be grateful to God Almighty for granting us the grace to be counted among the living this morning. So if you're up and bright, just know that you have been graced, you have been chosen to be amongst the living. The weather warnings were out last night. I received one from the Ministry for the Interior. Did you receive one? Well, there was a 40% chance that it was going to rain. I saw showers on my way to work, and maybe they are yet to come. Maybe they may not come, but will be showers. However, what is important is that we heed to weather warnings in order to stay safe, to protect ourselves as well as our property. So thank you so much and welcome. Let me talk to you about the Northern Business Fair. It's happening at the Jubilee Park in Tamale. This is the only fair that brings together businesses, entrepreneurs, SMEs, innovators, tech people from all the regions in the northern part of Ghana. So I'm talking about Northeast, Northern, Upper East, Upper West, Savannah. They're all going to come together at the Jubilee Park in Tamale from the 25th to the 26th of July. And they're going to be exhibiting their products, their goods, their services, their wares to the rest of the world. This is the only platform that gives you eyeballs from across the globe. So please call 0205 973 973. 0205 973 and be part of the Northern Business Fair. If you're a business owner, if you're a trader, if you're an innovator, you're a service provider, you're an SME operating in the northern parts of Ghana, this is that opportunity that you've always been looking for, and you need to take advantage of it. So call and register now, 0205 973 973. 0205 973 973. And when you call and you register, you follow up with your payment, because it is only your payment that secures you a slot to exhibit. Okay? As for the calling, you can call and make your inquiries and all. But if you are really bent on exhibiting, then you need to follow up with your registration and payment. That's the only way that you get to be a part of the Northern Business Fair. The Northern Business Fair is brought to you by ChannelOne Television and 97.3 City FM, and it's sponsored by EcoBank, the National Petroleum Authority (NPA), and the Ghana Export Promotion Authority (GEPA). So we'd like to say thank you to EcoBank, thank you to NPA, thank you to GEPA for being part of the Northern Business Fair. Please call 0205 973 973 and be part of the Northern Business Fair. All right. Now let's talk about the literacy challenge. The literacy challenge. So are you 11 to 15 years? Do you want to show the nation what you're made of? Then it's time to enter the Literacy Challenge 2026 for a chance to win 10,000 Ghana cedis, a laptop, and national recognition. Your brilliance deserves the spotlight. So this year, what topic are we writing on? In not less than 600 words, write a letter to the Minister of Education as a youth consultant discussing the advantages and disadvantages of the use of artificial intelligence, AI, in education. Advice on how Ghana can effectively integrate AI into basic schools to improve teaching and learning, while ensuring that students in rural and underserved communities are not left behind. So this is for pre-secondary students aged between 11 and 15 years only. And let's give you some writing guidelines. The essay must be handwritten by the participants. You add your full contact details. Your essay must be endorsed by a parent, a guardian, or teacher, and it must be posted to the Literacy Challenge, P.O. Box, GP 14123, Accra Central, or delivered to ChannelOne TV premises at Tesano in Accra. All right, I'll go over the guidelines again. Essays must be handwritten by participants. You need to add your full contact details. Your essay must be endorsed by a parent, guardian, or teacher. And the essay must be posted to the Literacy Challenge, P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central, or you can deliver to the ChannelOne TV premises at Tesano in Accra. For more information on the Literacy Challenge 2026, please call 0205 973 973. Please note that the deadline for submission of entries is on the 20th of July 2026 by 5 p.m. So we'll close, if like the receipt of entries at 5 p.m. on the 20th of July 2026. So if you're a student between the age of 11 and 15 and you are interested in participating in the Literacy Challenge 2026, you should have submitted your essay on or before 20th July 2026, 5 p.m. It's really important that you follow the guidelines and submit your essays by 20th July 2026, 5 p.m. Kindly call 0205 973 973 if you have any questions. 0205 973 973. And then you can get all the details, all the information you need regarding the Literacy Challenge 2026. So the challenge is for pre-secondary students, and you stand a chance of winning 10,000 Ghana cedis and a laptop. All right. So this year, it's going to be big. It's going to be better. And we entreat all students, pre-secondary students, to participate. We've had schools from all corners of the country participating in previous editions. And this year, it is your turn. So if you're a parent and you're watching us, if you're a teacher, you're watching us, if you're students between the ages of 11 to 15, then we need you to participate in the Literacy Challenge 2026. Interesting essays have come by over the years, and it attests to the brilliance of our students. And we want to have present an interesting competition where students from all schools across the country get to assemble here in Accra to participate in the Literacy Challenge. So this year's edition is going to be expanded, it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and we hope it whips up your interest to participate. So call 0205 973 973 for all information that you so require, but please make sure to send in your essays by the 20th of July 2026 at 5 p.m. So let's go over the topic for this year again. In not less than 600 words, write a letter to the Minister of Education as a youth consultant discussing the advantages and disadvantages of the use of artificial intelligence, AI, in education. Advice on how Ghana can effectively integrate AI into basic schools to improve teaching and learning while ensuring that students in rural and underserved communities are not left behind. So this should be in not less than 600 words. This should be in your own handwriting. It should be endorsed by a parent, a guardian, or teacher, and you must post it to the Literacy Challenge, P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central, or deliver to ChannelOne TV premises at Tesano in Accra. So that's it for the Literacy Challenge 2026, a competition for all pre-tertiary students, and we advise that you participate in it. If you're a teacher or a guardian, you should encourage your students, your wards, to engage in the Literacy Challenge 2026. This year's will be more exciting, more engaging, and more interesting. All right, so that's the Literacy Challenge 2026. All right, let's take a quick scan through the newspapers this morning. Let's bring you an idea of what stories are on the front pages of the various newspapers. I'll start off with the Ghanaian Times. Front page says, stop building on hills now. Unchecked construction risk environmental disaster. That's Professor Otin Abebio issuing that warning. Rearrest of former NAFCO boss at airport sparks legal battle over court travel order. Post-flood mitigation program. GAF, that's the Ghana Armed Forces, to lead nationwide cleanup and demolition exercise. Ochenhene blames attitude for flood crisis, calls for change in environmental behavior. Locally produced items drive June inflation rate to 5.3%. So that's the front page of the Ghanaian Times. You go to the back page, you get some Black Star stories on there. All right, let's go to the Custodian. Custodian says, don't trade lives for fiscal discipline. Minority tells government to spend to curb flood disasters. AG in willful violation of court order. Godfrey Dame slams Hanan's arrest at airport. Anodompre leads health walk. Fires up NPP supporters for 2028 elections. Government to honor farmers in Bono region launches 42nd National Farmers Day. And fire guts Melcom warehouse at Tamafree Zones Enclave. So that's the Custodian. Let's go to the Newscenta. The Newscenta says, Margins delivers fares gum ID. President Barrow is inaugural recipient as system is live. Ibrahim Mahama signals support for Ghanaian AI prodigy. Finance Ministry fiscal controls delayed Garrett projects. That's according to the World Bank. Accra floods caused by government negligence. That's the minority speaking. Sahel extremist probing towards Ghana. That's the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General William Ejapon, speaking there. The New Publisher says, Dame warns AG over airport arrest, disobey court, face contempt. Some university degrees are useless. That's the former Education Minister, Dr. Yawose Educhum, speaking there. Momo vendor kills armed robber. So that's the front page of the New Publisher. I take you to the Herald. The Herald says Attorney General and Godfrey Dame clash over ex-NAFCO CEO's airport arrest. Goldfields lease renewal will cost Mahama government deadly. Kofi Bentil is warning. Ibrahim Mahama supports young Ghanaian AI innovator. NPA declares war on illegal petroleum activities downstream. Goyle manages Equiapim North NPP chair bid sparks questions over campaign commitment. And fire service battles floods, fires, and structural collapse in busiest week. Let's do the Chronicle now. 100% tiling of compounds is the cause of floods. And that's according to the IAWPA. Ochehene angry over disposal of refuse into drains. Mahama Cares takes awareness campaign to Kumasi chiefs. Scripture for today, Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So that's the Chronicle newspaper. The Daily Guide says ex-NAFCO boss arrested at airport, lawyers bare teeth. Government reviews student punishment regime. We've cleared cocoa farmers' arrears. That's according to Cocoa Board. High Court approves Abu Treker's extradition. And Momo vendor kills robber at Lashibi. So these are some stories making the headlines, making the front pages of the various dailies this morning, Monday, the 6th of July, 2026. It's now time to talk football. It's now time to get into the World Cup conversations. Yao Jay Minta is in studio. Yao, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Yeah, how's the weekend?
Oh, very good. Very, very good. Unfortunately, the Black Stars got kicked out of the World Cup. So, yeah.
No surprises there, so I'm okay.
Well, yeah, you can say that. Because playing against Colombia, I always saw them as our evil twin, more or less, because everything that we had in terms of strength, they had the same, and a little bit extra because they had overall quality more than Ghana. So, I wasn't surprised that we ended up losing. It was a game where you had two teams that were equal playing against each other. So it could have gone either way. It could have gone either way.
Teams cancelled out each other.
Yeah, more or less. And so Ghana lost. At the end of the day, the target was achieved. That is to qualify from the group phase.
Stage, yeah.
And I know a lot of people are saying that, okay, yeah, the round of 32 is more or less pretty much the an enhanced version of the group phase because of the expanded format of the World Cup. But you have to look at things critically. Ghana got 4 points without any goal difference. Yeah. But you look to qualify. But you look at the other teams that qualify to the round of 32. Some qualify with 3 points. Some qualify with 4 points minus 2 goals and all of that. So it means that even if you look at it and comparatively, and you compare it to other previous World Cups, where other teams also qualified to the World Cup with 4 goals minus a goal difference of maybe 1 or 2, and in some cases, some even had 3 points. So it makes the case that Ghana, yes, indeed, deserve to qualify to the round of 32, and yeah, should be given credit for that, and not necessarily rubbish and seen as an enhanced version of the group phase. I think per the circumstances, the guys did well. The group did well. Per the circumstances, the group generally did well. The coach generally did well, and many have called for his head. Many believe that Ghana should let him go for someone who is a bit more proactive, because his style or tactic is very reactive, very defensive-minded, and if we end up conceding a goal or 2, we virtually have no way of coming back into a game, and we can't score more than 1 goal, that kind of thing. But you have to look at it in proper context, in the sense that Carlos Queiroz came in just a month before the start of the World Cup. And it was going to be very difficult to turn things around and pick things up, looking at all the disorganization, the chaos, the bad run of results that Ghana had been on. Ghana lost to Austria 5-1. Ghana lost to Germany 2-0. Ghana lost to South Korea. Ghana lost to Japan in the lead up to his appointment. So things weren't good. Then he comes in, and guess what? The department of football that is very difficult to coach, especially within a short period. That was the department that he managed to improve, which is defense. Which is defense. And so what that tells me is that he knows what he's about, and he knows what he can do. And on top of that, he's known for his defense. I mean, being a defensive mastermind. And in that area, so you are judging him as a coach. In that area of that side of the ball, did he excel? He excelled. You look at the best performers for the Black Stars in this World Cup. Top 5, 4 of them will be defenders. The likes of Marvin Senaya, Gideon Mensah, Jerome Opoku, Jonas Adjei, all of them will make the top 5. And all of them are defenders. And you can clearly tell that Carlos Queiroz's presence has improved their overall output. Because prior to Carlos Queiroz coming to the Black Stars, what was the overall view of Jonas Adjei? What was the overall view of Gideon Mensah? What was the overall view of Jerome Opoku? But he's come in and he's got them to improve. So that tells me that this guy knows what he's all about.
Indeed.
And on top of that, you have to look at proper preparation. As in, you could tell that there was a game plan. There was a proper system in place. And preparation had gone into executing that game plan. Unlike what we used to have before, where you sat back and you watch Ghana games and you're like, okay, what is the game plan here?
What's going on?
What's going on? I don't see, I don't get it, man. You are just wondering to
instead of enjoying the game, you are thinking through what style of play this is.
What's this? But with Ghana or under Carlos Queiroz, you knew that we are going into the game. This is clearly from the get-go. You can tell that we are defending in this game. We are going to rely heavily on in transition moments. That's what the game plan was about. And you could tell that there was preparation that had gone into that game plan to ensure that it was executed well. To the extent that our game against Panama that we won, we scored in transition. Brandon Thomas Asante scored the ball and Caleb Yonchi scored. After the game, Brandon Thomas Asante said, they had practiced that sequence in training. So that tells me that, this guy knows what he's about.
Exactly. But he's left.
Well, officially, he hasn't left, according to the GFA. Per the GFA.
The contract.
No, per the contract and per the publication. There's no publication out there from the GFA that has stated that he has officially left.
Right.
That's
okay.
Yeah, that's
so
what.
Then there's some ambiguity in there.
Yes, and even his statements, there's an ambiguity in there. Thanks for the experience. Experience what? Is it the experience of the World Cup or the experience as a Black Stars head coach? So I don't know. Maybe there was a bit of language lost in transition there, because I mean he's Portuguese, he speaks English.
But you think his statement was rushed? He could have waited a bit.
Oh yeah, it was rushed. I mean, what? It was just a day after Ghana lost. I think it was rushed. Just like relax. Maybe when you guys touch down, then you release it. Especially, it's not a situation like Neymar and Brazil where as soon as they got kicked out, you could tell that yes, this is the end of Neymar's run with the Brazilian national team, or Casemiro, those kind of things. We weren't in that situation. So for me, I thought it was a bit rushed. He didn't need to put it out there the way he did. And rather, unfortunately, the choice of language has led to a lot of confusion. Yeah. So right now, has he officially left? Has he officially not left? Maybe, is it a personal decision that he decides that, my run has come to an end? Okay, yeah, but at the end of the day...
What does his contract say?
4 months. So 4 months. He was appointed in April. So April, May, June, July. So it will end later this month.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Right.
If that's what to make the person not misbehave next time, I don't think that everything has to be pulled to the courtroom. I think that at a certain point we have to agree that we have tried to use the courtroom to address every simple issue, and it's not working because people realize that once you get to the court, you are going to have a long time to be moving around, and the punishment at the end of the day doesn't serve as a deterrent to the entire society. So I believe that when it comes to indiscipline, aside monetizing it for the state to make some money, there should also be some small creeping of people, especially those that have consistently proven to be indisciplined.
You don't think people will abuse it? They're whipping.
I say in every system, there will be some small level of abuse. But you see, if it will guarantee us the results we are all looking for, if it will work, I'm saying that as I said, when I was in Lagos and I saw that, and I asked the Nigerians who were traveling with there, yes, the drivers said the drivers are so indisciplined in Lagos that every place they want to stop, and it's part of the congestion on the road, because they can even stand in the middle of the road, stop in the middle of the road, and be picking passengers. Right. So the moment the military were deployed at the various unauthorized places, now when they get there, even a passenger say, I say, no, you can't alight here. I have to get to the approved bus stop. So all of a sudden, the drivers themselves realize that military man is standing there, so I can't mess up. They are not asking you any question. They are only standing there. Because that is unapproved, unauthorized parking place. But they have been parking there and creating. So they just identify the places and they deploy the people there. And the military people are in their uniform with their guns and canes, and they're just standing there. And all of a sudden, the drivers are all behaving. They are all behaving. You understand it? And as I said, Rwanda, if you go, the policemen are standing there. They are not asking any question. They are in their uniform and they have their guns strapped by them, and they are just standing there. They are not asking any question. That is why when you get there and the traffic is ready, stop. See, look, what has happened is devastating.
Indeed.
If you look at the level of the flooding, somebody said for 30 years where he has been staying, he had never experienced flooding that the water had entered, but for the first time, the room had been flooded. I had a cousin who was staying at the Malam Kukuroko, just behind the Muzamadisco Christo Church. The water got to the neck level. Okay? Wow. The water got to her neck. And the building is up. So if she steps out of the building, you can't even see her. And when they call the emergency service, they said they should be calm. Water at the person's neck, and the person is calling for emergency service, they said, be calm. That's what they were told, that they should be calm. So you see, we have deficit in terms of the institutions that will help us. So if we enforce discipline and make sure that people don't do the right thing, don't do the wrong thing, it will help us a lot. Because see, this flooding we are all seeing, there's a whole lot of indiscipline. True. I sat there and asked Accra, give me 5 places where we say these are landfill site that refuse is deposited. The whole Accra, give me 5 landfill sites around Accra. Where do we send our refuse? But we generate refuse in quantities. I told you about 2-3 weeks ago, I went to Kaswa and was coming. I saw over 500 aboboya lined up by the road, all of them in refuse. When I asked, they said they are looking for a place to go and dump the thing, and they have no place to dump it. That's why they are all there. If you leave Accra now, you see that the aboboyas are not working.
No, they are not picking.
They are not picking because
on your way here, I don't know if you know.
Yeah, because they say they don't have a place to go and dump it. And the way the rain has come, if they pick the refuse, they don't even know where to send it.
Exactly.
So now almost all the aboboyas that comes around to pick, that's why they come around to pick the refuse. Now they are all not coming because when you ask around, they say they don't know where to go and dump it when they pick it. So in Accra itself, we also need to ask ourselves, where are the dumping sites for all the refuse that we generate? Where do we send them? We give it to aboboya and we don't ask where they go and dump them. So you see, I support the military intervention, but I believe that their work will end at a certain point. But then beyond that point, how do we ensure that the sanity they brought temporarily by pulling down all those structures and everything, that sanity, how do we sustain it? That's why I'm saying that while the military is working, maybe the government has to look at maybe another task force of planners and the rest, also going to the places where the work is being done and begin to pinpoint per the plan of this assembly, per the plan of this area. This is not supposed to be, this is not supposed to be. So when the military are gone, they are also putting in place maybe notices and things to make sure that what the military has done, within 3 months, people don't come back. Because the truth of the matter is that, my brother, we all know that when we drive through a town, where we see the containers, where we see all this refuse, our entire drainage system needs to be re-engineered. Because you see drainage all right in many places. Some of them are not even filled, but when you see the volume of water in the place when it's rained heavily, realize that drainage is unable to do that. Look, one of the biggest problems we had is the silting of the odor. If you use the Lavender Hill, you can see that the entire place is silted. So the point when the water is flowing, it's supposed to enter the sea, and the whole place is silted. The water will bounce back and it will overflow and go to homes, and you lose everything. Look, the damage that this thing has caused is into billions and billions. As I said, my cousin, they couldn't pick anything from the room, from the TV to the fridge. As for what they wear, because the water is so brown, and so once it enters your dresses, they are all gone. They lost everything. Now they have to start life all over. By now buying everything. You can imagine, and how many people if you insure their personal properties in their home, like their fridges and their TV, how many of us have? So the cost in terms of finance, we are told that about 34 or almost to 40 people have lost that. There's no amount of money that can even replace one life. So we need to be drastic in the way we do things. And as I said, the biggest problem we have in this country is indiscipline. So if we are using the military to bring some discipline, probably maybe we have to look at a bigger role of the military in terms of instilling some discipline in all of us.
Thank you, Elvis. Thank you. Elgem, what sort of agency would you want to see the military attached to this anti-flood or if you like flood mitigation exercises?
Thank you so much, and good morning to everybody here as well as those who are watching us. First and foremost, we still extend our commiserations to the families of the bereaved. It should not be seen as a norm that whenever such occurrences visit us, it should go the extent of losing lives. And this has been, just like I recall President Kufuor once said that corruption has been with us since the day of old. It is becoming like floods have been with us since the day of old. The truth remains that floods will always occur. Floods do not occur necessarily because people are building in waterways, people are not following building permits, people have not got the rights, etc. But it's also a natural phenomenon. However, preparations towards that to mitigate it is what is very key and necessary that we ought to do. And so I don't think we should always make it look as though it is just because buildings or structures are in waterway, illegal structures, kiosks are located at certain places, etc. If really you should take a cursory look at some of the things, you'll agree again that the flood may not be because of a kiosk in front of somebody's building or etc. It is re-engineering, which must be done very well. Because when Accra, for instance, was planned, or we don't even want to believe Accra was planned anyways. When Accra was planned some decades ago, you would agree with me that the level of, the size of drainage that was done and what was anticipation in terms of our number, what was projected in terms of our the population over a certain period, etc., have all gone beyond the roofs.
Right.
So there's a proper need, a real need for us to redesign. Coming into the studio this morning, I heard one Professor Martin Otin Abibio, who a development expert, also state clearly that the building of structures on hills, etc. Among, so there are a plethora of things that constitute these. I am happy for the military's involvement. I have maintained time without number that the most disciplined institution in every country remains the military. Wherever the military also goes wayward, then that country is a complete banana republic. And so there's a need for us to look into this, which is the reason why I agree with Elvis also calling in for the need to cooperate, cooperation between the military and other stakeholders, not only the assemblies, but all other stakeholders that are involved. Because look, today people put up structures, for instance, and they think it is very fanciful. It's my own money, and therefore I need to tile the whole compound, which makes it difficult for water to even percolate in that house when it rains, which means that you are virtually washing it into the drainage or transferring it to the next person. Now, there are those who are also going to Ramsar site, wetlands, etc., filling those places and then putting up structures. I visited the Canary Wharf in the UK, for instance, where they have been able to control the water and build major facilities around there, and that is being put, that Ramsar site is being put to great use. What stops us from doing same? What is stopping us from doing same is not even the political will, but the financial cost. Doing projects of this nature comes with a huge financial outlay. When we go back, for instance, to Garrett, where we're told how much was spent on consultancy, how much was spent on trainings, and the pittance was what was spent on the real work itself. It tells you the African problem is discipline again. So money is given and probably 70% is spent on very needless things or diverted. Then only a pittance is spent on the actual work. And then in the end, we come around to complain and pretend to play saint and want to say this. I have said this many times and you know me for it. One, I'm very harsh. Two, I'm very blunt. Three, I'm very passionate about things of this nature. Because I keep saying that whatever affects somebody tomorrow, you may not know how it has affected you indirectly.
Exactly.
I have always used Galamsey as an example. That when, even in this flat, for instance, let's assume that Ibrahim and I may not have lost anything and we do not feel concerned. However, there's an innocent mother or father who has lost his innocent child. Maybe I have a daughter and he has a daughter to a boy. Probably in 2-3 decades, that girl or that boy who lost their life was supposed to be the future husband of our daughter. Now, if your daughter is no longer getting a husband, you begin to be blaming your family in the house that the ancestors have done. But probably you didn't care enough. And it is the reason why we must care about other things. I have been attacked by armed robbers before. They nearly tried chopping off my head. I have said that if you do not care about your colleagues in the classroom, what they do, how they progress, etc., if tomorrow he becomes an armed robber, who knows if it may be visited on you? We saw how Lucky Dube died. You get it? So there's a need for us to always be concerned about things that happen around us. Be genuinely committed to fighting them rather than pretense and say, we're doing this for the cameras and all that. It worries me and it pains me because we cannot continue doing these same things differently and expect that things will change. Now, when building codes, for instance, there's a need for this redesigning needs us to relook at our building codes. What are the laid down rules, how to put up structures, what principles must be followed, how must sewage even be disposed of. All of these are needed because when they are flat also, you have other people who have, in one way or the other, connected some tubing to their sewage, and the moment it is flat, that sewage is all discharged into the water. Then there is further cholera outbreak. There are a lot of aftermaths of all of this, which has never been good for us. I was a victim of a flood. I was a victim of the June 3rd flood in 2015. I lost close to about $197,000 of my products to the floods before the Circle disaster. So I know how it feels. And there are people who are within this moment feeling even very suicidal, and you would think they are stupid, they are silly. But when you don't find yourself in that circumstance, you won't know how it feels.
Yeah.
So somebody has just lost all his life savings. It may even be just 1,000 cedis. That person could have become a millionaire from building on that 1,000. But because he or she has lost that 1,000, she's suddenly thinking of even committing suicide or doing something worse. And you may be thinking, now 1,000 cedis now, we will be crying losing 5 million now. That is the person's. That is his quantum that he can use to.
Yeah.
So there's a need for us to look into all of this, plan properly. I commend the need for the military to come into to do this. I expect a diligent job to be done, and I expect that moving forward, this has given us a lot of lessons that it should not happen again. And finally, people who have put up structures at places or done things that are untoward to the law must be dealt with without any fear or favor. Because when these floods occur, innocent lives are lost. So why must we compromise on your illegality to let lives be lost? And then there will be backlash. You start pulling down structures, others will again say, though, there's a political consequence for this and all of that. There's no greater political consequence than losing the lives of people. And therefore, there's a need for us to sit up and make sure we fight this.
Very well. Ibrahim, what are your expectations from the military regarding this, they leading the charge in this matter, and what kind of collaboration or assistance do you think they would require from persons like you and I, the ordinary Ghanaian?
Okay, well, again, good morning to you, Nana, and my colleagues. What am I expecting from the military? Well, it's not the first time they've been deployed. The 48 Engineers Regiment, yes, yeah. They're the go-to institution within the military of the Ghana Armed Forces to deal with these emergencies, because they have a command structure that NADMO doesn't have. They also have the equipment to actually help, de-silt, to demolish properties, and that discipline that we spoke about earlier on is with them. There's a certain fear and respect for authority that they carry, and unfortunately, they are our default. I say unfortunately in no way to disparage them. We thank them for saving lives, for helping to mitigate the consequences of this flood, which is partly institutional in terms of the causes. It's perennial. Every year it happens across administrations. It's citizens not doing their part. Yes, there's an engineering aspect of it. And so what do I expect? I expect them to bring calm and sanity to the situation. They are an emergency response team, if you will. But what I would expect we as a people to do beyond that, we need one single body, Nana. Right now, you have water and sanitation. Fingers are pointing at them. You have the municipal assemblies, the metropolitan municipal and district assemblies. Fingers are being pointed at them. EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. Everybody's pointing. Authority. Yes, now authority. Everybody's pointing fingers. And this allows those who are negligent in their part to hide. It wasn't me, it was her. And in order to cure that, have one body who now has the command structure to engage local assemblies. Now, local assemblies are tasked with sanitation and drainage. That's their job. Now, they will say, but we don't have the budget. Or we have the budget, we don't have the tools. These are the things that, if you will, defeat our ability to tackle this thing head on. And it has to be year round. Don't wait for June and July, and then suddenly we step up. The enforcement, the discipline has to run throughout, and having one authority will help us achieve that. Because that authority can, without reference to any other body, go and quickly demolish a property that is illegally placed without permit, even with permits, because we now have permits. There's so much kululu and the issuance of permits, and we need to develop a system, not a system, but maybe an attitude whereby, without political favor, these properties are demolished. Not the kiosks that we see and they become the headline news. What am I getting at here, Nana? We need to see from this body that I'm proposing government institutes, one body, and your job is to manage. And yes, we have the reports GARID, the Greater Accra, resilience. Is an integrated development program. I've forgotten the acronym exactly. That is there, World Bank funded. I'm not trying to say that we dismiss those things, but that particular body, they should give us, the body I'm proposing, they should give us an audit of every property. So when they go to Klagon, because right now, the 48 engineer regiments are there, then Klagon, then Chado, and other areas, of course, are working within the Odor Basin as well. But we need to see that these structures in this facility, this town, were destroyed. Because we're hearing that they're demolishing, and we've heard this over the years. So give us a list. Tell me which property, which high-rise did you demolish within the wetlands? And again, talking about the wetlands, again, what we need to do is create artificial wetlands. Again, preparing for this program, we hear that there are, if you will, reservoirs. Because it's not just about the volume of the water, but it's the speed with which it comes. Though as for the rain, it will happen.
Exactly.
Can you tell our farmers that they don't want rain?
No.
And then in September, we're complaining that there's famine. So we say, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, for the rain. Our inability to manage our activities as a people, first and foremost, is what then makes the consequences of the rain so negative for us. Having these basins or these reservoirs, as the rain comes from the mountains, okay? Because Accra is flat. I was watching your program, The Big Issue, with Umar
Sanda,
on Saturday. Very informative, because you had a technical person there.
Exactly.
And I would wish that we have more of that. And I commend ChannelOne for doing that, and City FM. I commend that when there's an issue like this, leave we the politicians out, bring the technocrats in.
Exactly.
He informed us that when the airport city was first built, now I was at airport city in 1990. I took a year off from university. I was in Ghana, and for the whole year I was in Ghana. 1990. What's that? 30-something years ago.
Yeah.
Good. And I remember the place where now Silver Star is. You know, because it was planned inside there. And the technocrat, I've forgotten his name, he informed us that when originally planned, because they knew the topography of Accra, that whole area was meant to be an artificial pond.
Right.
But that was one of the first things that was sold. And then there's rezoning. People rezone, change the use of a particular area. And then quickly fill it and allow people to buy. Okay? And then we have this problem. So again, coming back to my question, how do we help to cure on a consistent basis? One of the first things to do is let's capture the rain when it's coming from the mountains. So you have these reservoirs, these basins. They will capture the rain, and then you can release it in a very controlled manner. Other than that, it's multifaceted.
I think Nkrumah had about 6 of them from the Kapem Ridge through Ashie all the way to Tukpong.
Yes.
And today we've encroached upon all of them.
All of them. All of them. And so then the blame is 2 things. And I like what the gentleman said. He said, don't go and blame the chiefs for selling the land. How do you And I mentioned that 2 weeks ago. You can't blame the chief. Remember we talked about the, was it the wager?
Yeah.
The wager flooding. Yeah. You know, a chief has the right to sell. Okay? You don't have the right to build unauthorized. Sell it and grow your maize and make your money. Good. Now, there's no point in us blaming chiefs, blaming even the MCEs and DCEs, and then the permit issuance.
Yeah.
It's all about leadership failure across these areas. Leadership failure, not political failure. Because if I go that way, it changes the dynamic of what I want to get across. Leadership failure, this is across the years. The first planning of Accra was in 1939 after the earthquake, where the colonial powers then used the opportunity to say, let's plan it properly. Then you had 1948, the planning came in. Then when Nkrumah came in, then you had from 1958 additional planning. So there's been a leadership success in actually planning organically Accra to make sure that we can be a modernized city, and all the necessary policies that will inure to the benefit of the citizens here and the visitors to Accra will happen. But what has happened to that plan? The leadership failure is that that plan has been pushed away. Nobody has adhered to it. And where we have found people who have willfully, gone against the law, and those who have helped them, and those in authority have given permits where they shouldn't, sold land where they shouldn't, rezoned, reclassified areas where they shouldn't, which makes the whole spatial authority a non-event. There needs to be accountability. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we can look back at all the areas that have been rezoned illegally, let me put it that way, frame it that way, permits that are being issued where they shouldn't, and we can say, okay, who was the MCE? Who was the DCE? Who signed it? Because definitely there's a signature somewhere. And apart from the local assembly, which other leadership institutions were complicit in certain things? And if we can, because crime does not expire. I don't believe there's a law of statute in terms of the expiration of certain crimes. And if they don't expire, those people can be held account. And of course, those currently in office as well. Until we get that accountability, it will come in. And then this leads into, I want to pivot into another area. When we do the political appointment of MCEs and DCEs and what have you, when they are politically appointed, when they do the wrong thing, they go for political cover. But if somebody is elected duly, and I would hope elected given that they have the necessary qualifications to man that office or that area, when they do the wrong thing, I don't think there's political cover. Because there's no political party that say you are one of us. We didn't appoint you, you were elected. And we've seen that you didn't done something illegal, so go and pay the consequences for it. It's these things that we need to bring in.
Right.
Then there are other things, and I'll be as brief as I can. There are other things, again, preparing for this. You have permeable surfaces. Elika mentioned it earlier, that policy-wise, you cannot tile your whole area.
Yeah.
You should have areas whereby the ground can soak some of this water, not run off into the street, and then we saw what we're seeing on the screen there. Imagine that if all these areas, a portion of that was soaking in the rain.
Channel.
Very good. We would not have this runoff if other areas were able to soak and absorb the rain. So again, permeable surfaces, concrete that absorbs. Also, you have interlocking pavements. Not the straight asphalt, but interlocking ones.
Yeah.
The gaps allow water to seep in.
Exactly.
And when you do that, you're sucking away the power, the volume, the strength of the rainfall, so that it doesn't come with force, as we saw in your earlier montage. It's coming like a river with some kind of turbine. The one you showed me earlier, this one.
This one.
You think it's something, one of the turbines from Akosomo, if you've been to Akosomo before, and the water's gushing out to turn the turbines. This looks like a mini Akosomo right here. But, again, it has to be, we need that political will, and I don't want people to somehow put everything on the politics. If we see something, we must say something and then do something. Somebody is encroaching, and you know that this is wetland. This area, we should not build there. You see somebody dumping refuse. Why are we allowing this? And I've said it time without number. I mentioned it last week. That cover the gutters. Number one, what is the fear? We can find 350 million Ghana cedis, equivalent to $26.5 million. And of course, we appreciate that to help mitigate what has happened, help save lives and restore, some semblance of humanity to those who have lost that. So I'm not in any way denigrating the amount.
Right.
But I'm saying that imagine if that amount, the money, on a yearly basis, monthly basis, is entrusted with an authority that on a daily basis, weekly basis, they should give us an account. We've done this, and then we're using some of those resources to actually create these artificial ponds, as I mentioned, regarding the airport city as an example, create more basins, having surfaces that can absorb, and then we, the citizenry, must always be mindful of how it affects us, if not now, later. Elika alluded to it. He's giving a parable. It may not affect you now, but there's a consequence where it affects all of us that you can't see yet. And this is what we need to do. We need to be disciplined, and without political favor, even now, this is an opportunity now to find out which officials, even now or years past, rezone something that they shouldn't. We should do that audit when we have that one body managing this area of our governance and our security.
Very well. Elvis, briefly and finally on this, the military is leading the charge, all right, but there should be accountability at the end of the day. You think people should be held responsible for their actions or inactions so that at least it serves as a deterrent to others?
If you cannot hold people accountable, then don't expect change and don't expect results. But the only way somebody will be deterred from doing the wrong thing is when he or she sees that someone who has done that wrong thing had been severely punished. And that is the deterrent for others to say, if this person had been severely punished, then I don't want to do it. So if there's no accountability, it will be so difficult for us to address any problem. Elikem talk about the fact that it may not be only about the building. If you watch, I think Jim met and they made a presentation on Joy News. If you look at how the places that are supposed to actually accommodate the water. The Ramsar site, how we have closed it. If you look at the figures in just the past 30 years, we've closed it about 90% of the entire Ramsar site, about 3 places they mentioned. All of them, about 90% have been filled and sold out and built. You live in Tema, and you know that Committee 3 usually does not flood. No. But because the Ramsar site has been sold, you saw what happened in these floods. From Committee 3 all the way to Committee 6, so many committees that used not to flood. This time, they were all flooded because the reservoir, which is the Sakumono Ramsar site, which is supposed to actually receive the water, had all been filled up.
The T3 Klagon Lagoon to Sakumo all have been filled up.
Look at the Klagon Lagoon. Look at the Klagon Lagoon and look at, I passed there just yesterday. If you look at the until this rain, you will not know that the river is that big. After the rain, if you look at the space that the water is now covering, houses are completely covered around the Klagon area there. And I said that those of us who have been going to that area like 20 years ago, we knew very well that water used to be very big. But because there had not been any big rainfall with this period, people just filled it up and were selling and were selling and were selling until this major flood came in. So you see, if the reservoirs, the places where all this water is supposed to go to, we filled it up. See, I've told people that water is more dangerous than fire. Because when there's fire, you call fire service, they have chemicals and things they use to try to douse the fire. But when there's floods, what do you use to stop it? There's nothing you can do to stop a flood when it is happening. It will take its natural course until it serves is enough and the water recedes. So water is more dangerous than fire. Because handling water is more difficult than handling fire.
We saw it at Circle on that Monday. The rubber market was on fire, but the water had blocked the fire service. They couldn't access the fire.
You understand? So you see that if all these reservoirs, the Ramsar sites, had not been encroached, yes, we know that it will rain, there will be flooding, but the impact will not be as we have seen.
Exactly.
But because all those places have been closed, I live in Dansuman. Where I live is just next to the Pambros. Next to Pambros is a Ramsar site. And that place is to collect a lot of. Go and see. It's been completely filled up. People have put up mansions upon mansions. It's this rain that has exposed them. And their rooms and every place is full. So if we are doing all these things, there's no way we can say somebody should not be punished. Who gave out all the land? As you said, the land can be given out. But the assembly is supposed to make sure that before you put up a structure, you follow the process. And I've always said that, look, you cannot blame a chief for selling the land. And I've also made this suggestion over there. Look, every assembly should approach those who own land in their jurisdiction. Tell them that, look, you may be selling the land for 20,000 per plot today, but you have not added value to the land. But as an assembly, we are going to determine whether people can use this land or not. So first of all, you, the owner, give us access to actually survey your land demarcate it for you, plan it for you. Then the land that you are selling for 20,000, now we can sell it for 50,000. And when we sell it for 50,000, you will take 30,000, you have 10,000 more. The 20,000 now covers the cost of demarcating the place, making sure that we provide place for utility and everything, tell you that this place will be the road, this place will be market, this place will be hospital. Look, we are living in several new communities around Accra, and where you live can have about 10,000 people. There's no hospital. Because everybody is just focused on building a house to sleep.
Right.
People live in communities, and schools are far away because everybody just bought the land and is building. And nobody thought that when population comes here, there has to be a market, there has to be a school, there has to be a health facility, there has to be all other social amenities where you, the person going to stay there, will make life easier for you. And all these things, if assemblies actually are smart and they approach these landowners and chiefs and the rest, the chiefs and landowners will be grateful to the assembly because they will say, if the assembly had not come in, I was going to sell this land for 20,000. But now the assembly has come in, they've demarcated, they've added value to the land.
Exactly.
I'm now selling and making 10,000 more. And the assembly is also recouping its cost of demarcating the place by making sure that the land, the cost of the land pays for the service. Right. So the assembly doesn't need to spend its own money on that. Assembly will just say, we'll do an upfront investment in demarcating the place. So if it is 100 plots, and you spend, let the assembly spend 200,000 to demarcate 100 plots of land. And for each plot of land, assembly makes even 10,000. Yeah. Haven't you recoup the 200,000? You recoup more than 200,000 from that 100 plots of land. Assembly will even making more money from that because 10,000 times 200. It's almost like 2 million Ghana cedis. Maybe you spend 200,000 or 300,000 to do the demarcation. Bring in right now they are so lucky now they have drip machines. Yes. So even to tell that, okay, let's even demarcate and show that this will be road, this will be water, this will be electricity. They can easily do this thing. So when people sit down and they are blaming the chief, I say, no, the chief is not the problem. It is the assembly that is not being innovative. So the most innovative way is to make sure that under your jurisdiction, you know who owns all the land. And tell them that all you, the landowners, come for a meeting. This is what the assembly can do for you. At the end of the day, you have a well-planned environment in the assembly. Everybody benefits. Movement is easier. Utilities are available. Everything will be available for everybody. And we'll all be better off.
Very well.
On the 2nd of February 1971, in Iran, there's a city called Ramsar.
Okay.
So the Ramsar Convention was actually signed in Iran in February 1971. That various governments signed on to protecting wetlands. And these wetlands, because the agreement was signed in Ramsar, that is how come the name Ramsar sites. Now, so like he said, most often people think that Ramsar sites are places, again, also under their jurisdiction. But because of where I work, Ramsar sites fall under the Forestry Commission. Yeah. And so late last week, my boss and the team had an engagement with the traditional authorities at some of these locations in order to ensure that we begin some demolition exercises, and this will be done without fear or favor, because as to how some of these things get done, you don't know. He made reference to palm bros, etc. You recall some time back, some cement factory was being put up there. People complained and said all manner of things, because that's almost like a pan close to salt's end. And all these things we can't continue doing the old things just because somebody either has some power or some connection and then come to sit around here to complain. It has never solved any problem. But like Ibrahim said, if you see something and you say it, you must also do something, and that ought to be done.
And let me add this credit before you go. Over the weekend, I saw a City and ChannelOne television news item that at the time that Central Oil Refinery was being cited, the people in the area said, this is a waterway. And if you allow Central Oil Refinery here, when it rains, there will be problem. You interviewed Kokofu, was the EPA executive. He said yes. So the EPA has kicked against the establishment of the refinery. At that time, they were just preparing the grounds. Caleb did the report.
Yeah, true.
Today, Central Oil is full and is operation in the same place. Check the video of what happened at that place when during this flood, this rain. The whole place, including all the communities along the place, were flooded because the people said that this is a big waterway. And if you sight this thing here,
the Chemu Lagoon
yes,
flows
if
along
you sight it here, one of the tributaries enter the Chemu Lagoon. If you sight it here, all of us will suffer when it rains. Today, all the communities there will Central Oil Refinery be made to compensate those people because they actually started the refinery at the wrong place. And from the onset, media was there to point it out that there was a problem. How is it that the EPA executive at the time said the thing was being cited in the wrong place, yet they found their way and were able to build? So who actually permitted them to build that? We need to investigate, and then somebody has to say accountability. Whoever permitted that must now be dealt with. Because the executive director is on record, the EPA was on record to say that that should not be allowed because it is a waterway. Now the refinery has been built. How come was it built? So somebody must be held accountable who permitted that refinery to be there.
Very well. Ibrahim.
Nana, which is exactly what I said in my submission. The records are there. I'm happy that Elika mentioned, so at least people understand Ramsar, signed in 1971 in Iran. It's like saying Geneva Convention, you understand where it was signed. So it's wetlands. Now these wetlands, this is God's architecture. God doesn't do anything keke. If God works by coincidence, he's not God. Allah is Allah. So it's designed in such a way that when water naturally rains as it does, these wetlands absorb it. The Ramsar sites, wetlands, for those who are just listening, because otherwise it can confuse. These water bodies are being filled in. I know the one at Sakumono. I used to live in Sakumono before coming back to Teshin. So I know that very, very well.
Where the migratory birds used to come.
You don't see them these days.
What do you
You don't see it. And you're seeing, over the last 20 years, the houses just getting closer to the beach. You just see it as you're driving on the Tema, the link road to Nungwa. So there is a record for the last 30 years of who did what.
Exactly.
These are captured. They're documented. So let's go and call them, put them in the dock. The one that Elvis just mentioned just now, Sentuo, records are there. Let's call them. The one at Sakumono, the Klagon, I mentioned Klagon earlier. Those offices of states or the municipality, they are there. Including the owners of the building. I don't want to leave the Ghanaian citizens out of my submission. Like we blame the political and the institutions, and we leave out the person who knew they shouldn't have bought property there. And so now, here's the challenge to government and to all governments. What you do now, as which will say you have one body. We know that there's a Ramsar site of wetlands that has been encroached, illegally so. Let's remove them. That's a challenge that any administration, we politicians fear the thumb. And that's the problem.
Ibrahim, sorry, not to catch you, but with the removal, the demolitions, we've seen some, across the year. But the problem I have with that is, you see, the place was filled. So if the natural qualities of that place to hold water have been tampered with.
But you can
exactly. But at whose cost?
But
so you need to bill whoever filled that place.
Sure. But beyond the billing, as for the billing, not everybody will pay. Some things governments have to absorb. There are some debts me and you are paying today as taxpayers, which our grandfathers took. But we are paying the debts. So it'll happen. If we focus on who's going to pay, we won't get there. Let's focus on delivering the solution. Because once you demolish, nature has a wonderful way of healing itself. It knows, as I said, God doesn't work by coincidence. Nature, once you release the environment to its original state, it will find a way. Life always finds a way to go back to its default setting, its original template. So just removing the things that have been filled out, it will gradually come back. But that's the challenge that we have now. Which administration will be bold enough to say, look, we see that you built here legally, so we're demolishing it. It's not my fault, I was given a permit. But as I say, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. And clearly most of them know that this was wetlands. Most, I'm not saying all. Because when you're maybe you're new to the area, and all you can see, you can't see a sign of wetland. So when you buy it, you're buying it, blinded as to the historical makeup of the area. But that should not somehow limit any administration from doing the right thing. So we wait next year, another 150 deaths. Next year, come on, how much is a Ghanaian life worth?
Exactly, yeah.
And because of that, we need to go back and start demolishing. And it's not just the demolishing, because as I said, this will not create the basins. And another thing I learnt on the show.
The big issue.
The big issue. The June 3rd flooding. Why was it so catastrophic? It happened in the night, no problem. But the sea level was high.
Yeah.
So as the water even went, it came back into the town. So we shouldn't think that everything will go to the sea.
No.
If the rain happens at the point that the sea level is this high, and you're thinking everything is going through, it won't happen. It'll go back. So again, these basins, these wetlands, these Ramsar sites are the shock absorbers that help us. And we have to take decisive action. I'm hoping that this time next year we won't come and talk, but we'll say, oh, what is that authority doing? What are the reports? What is the feedback? I'm praying, inshallah, that that's what we talk about in 365 days' time when the rains come again, as they will. Let's find out what the authority has done. How many wetlands, how many properties have been moved, and so on and so forth. Where government needs to be sued, hear me well, not by the people who built illegally, but by you can take a class action. The community can say, you affected. You're talking about Centaur just now. We're just knowing that it's flooded. I'm talking Centaur. What about the consequences that we are not reporting or can't see? Some people can take decisive action against any government, let me frame it in that way, and say, because of this, I need compensation. And so once we also are held accountable, we, the government, or people placed in charge of power and authority, once we are held accountable, it helps across board.
Right, very well.
And let me say, I saw a video there where I talk about the Pambros area. There's a young chief who took, I think, this social media to show them that, look, this is a Ramsar site. And a whole land, somebody is feeling it. So I think authorities must move there. Somebody is feeling the whole place to do a real estate, whatever it is. And the chief is worried that this is what will bring flooding.
Exactly.
And that's Elvis, which area?
The Pambros area.
The Opetekwe, those areas.
Very good. So
I think that the military actually needs to go there. That place, that task force, we need them that place to come and see how people are filling up the place.
Right.
And very quickly on that, I want to urge Ghanaians, wherever you are, especially those, you don't have to live near the wetland, but if you know the wetland area and you're seeing encroachment, please, I beg you, film it, send it to EPA, all other government institutions. Put it even on your own Facebook, your TikTok, whatever, to alert government that this is happening on our area or our community. Let's expose those who are not doing their job and allowing the filling in of these wetlands, these Ramsar sites. And we can, if we as a community do this, if we take charge, as I said, see something, say something, then do something, it will really help us. You know, it'll ginger government and administration. Hey, Charlie, we've been exposed though.
Indeed.
There's like Elvis said, the Pambros area. We need those visuals. It will help give meat to what Elvis is saying, and then that can go viral.
Very well.
I know we're throwing a lot of light on these than other issues that we need to. I think I need to commend the mayor of Kumasi for he's come up. I don't know if he's the mayor or the Ashanti regional minister who has come up with an app that allows you to report. If you see anybody throwing trash, etc., and get rewarded. I think we need to do this across board. We have all talked again about even bringing back the town council system, which instilled discipline in us in all of that. So I'm just calling them out to commend them for that app, which seeks to, the only thing to do now is to educate people on how to use it so that if I find somebody dumping trash somewhere, I can take a picture or report and then be ready to, knowing that I'm covered and can do that in order to serve as a deterrent.
And one appeal, those of us who drive saloon cars, we beg Mr. President, in fact, they have to do some emergency budget for road sector. No, for repairs. The rain
Repairs.
has actually
Destroyed
caused so
those,
much
yeah.
potholes. So if you have small cars like our own, everywhere goes to our cars. We beg Mr. President, at least we know big push is going on. But the ones that are so bad these days, we beg. They should help with some maintenance. I'm talking about the maintenance budget. I know mid-year budget is coming. And I think that if they increase the budget at least for road maintenance, the potholes created by this heavy rain, I think we can feel some of them small.
Very well. Let me take a few messages and we'll take a break. This one says, good morning, Nana. So you don't miss me small. Oh, Charlie, I do. Alankwe. No, I see you, Alankwe. I'll hit you up. It says, I think it is good to have the military undertake this exercise while government moves to re-engineer our drainage systems. Please tell Honorable Irabna Obin I need the torchlight somewhere. Hey, this man.
His appeal now.
Good morning, Anna. This year's floods in Accra was just a natural disaster. The military or the army cannot do anything about it. But my advice is let us deepen our gutters and stop galamsey. This is JY from Yendi. Good morning. I will only want to add to what Elvis said. If not that Valco as a company has other routes to get to the plant, workers would have stayed home because the little rains that came, the whole place got flooded. So that's
because of the central location.
That area. Very well. Keep your messages coming in. We'll do our best to read them out on the show. This is Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne TV. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you just joined us, this is Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne TV. We're having the news review segment. Ibrahim Adjei is here. Likem Kotoko is here. Elvis Darko is also here. We've just dealt with the issue of perennial flooding and the military leading that nationwide post-flood cleanup and flood mitigation exercise. We're now moving to other matters where the former CEO of NAFCO, Abdul Hanan, was picked up at the airport. In fact, he was stopped from traveling out of the country. Now, this generated, if you like, a legal argument between his defense team, which of course is led by the former Attorney General, Godfred Yeboah-Dame, and the current Deputy AG, Shrem Sai. And we just want to understand the issues as they are. So, Elvis, we understand Abdul Hanan was given a court clearance or a court order to be able to travel. However, in his attempt to travel, he was stopped and picked up at the airport. The reason the Deputy AG has given, even on his social media, is that there was an attempt to empty a frozen bank account of Abdul Hanan, and that triggered his arrest. But if a court has cleared somebody to be able to travel, will this arrest not be in breach of the court's order?
Well, it depends upon what has happened. As the deputy AG has said, we don't have the evidence, so we can only discuss it from what has been said. Per his argument, the gentleman was attempted to empty his account in one of the commercial banks, I don't want to mention the name, in Ghana. So the deputy AG, by his argument, it is that process that triggered the arrest, that he was trying to take the money away. So if that is true, the question is there an order freezing the account? Is there an order? If there is an order freezing the account, then how will a bank which is served with the order permit the gentleman to empty the account? So there are questions to be asked. But if the account is not frozen, if there's no court order freezing the account, then if the gentleman wants to withdraw any money from the account, he's not at fault.
His lawyer, Godfred Dame, insists there's no court order freezing the account.
So if there's no court order freezing the account, then probably maybe the AG realizes that they made a mistake, maybe not freezing the account, and therefore they need to stop him from traveling, because probably maybe when he travels out of the country, because there's no order freezing the account, probably the transfers will be done, because the bank will not commit any offense by transferring the money to wherever the client asks them to transfer it to. The bank will only be committing an offense if there is a court order freezing that account. So probably the AG may have realized that, oh, we should have frozen this account, but we didn't. And the gentleman is trying to take money. And if we allow him to go, probably by the time today that will go to the state might want to go to court to put a freeze on the account. Maybe some transfers might have been done. But if the bank also get to know that the gentleman probably has been arrested because of attempt to transfer, the bank may also not do the transfer. Or even if the bank has done the transfer, because you have the gentleman in custody, you can let him transfer the money back into the country. So for now, it's a bit difficult to determine whether indeed the actions of the AG breach the court directive or not. But as I said, if there's no court order freezing the account, then the gentleman is not committing any offense transferring money from it. But if the AG also realizes that, oh, we think with the benefit of hindsight, the monies in this account, the gentleman is able to transfer it, probably that money may never come back to Ghana again. So the best is to arrest him now, stop the transfer before we allow him to travel. It may be something that they will do, and when they go to court, probably they may have some explanation to give the judge why they think that detaining him at that material moment was necessary. So for me, the AG, which is the state today, should be able to give the public more information about the development, because right now the AG stands accused of breaching a court order. That the court granted the gentleman permission to travel and they stopped him from traveling, and that there's no order also from any court freezing his bank account. So even if he's transferring any money from the account, the gentleman is not committing any crime. So probably the AG needs to come back and explain. As I always say, just let the people understand why you did certain. It helps. Yes, there may not be a freeze, but if the AG is convinced that arresting him and making sure that the transfer is doing from that account, from today, they can have a chance to freeze that account so that the gentleman is not able to transfer money from it, because they believe that at the end of the case, if in the event that the gentleman is found guilty, the state will need to recover some money, and therefore they want to protect whatever money that the gentleman has in any account. The AG just need to come back and explain so that the public will understand that they didn't do it because they want to disrespect the court. And I think that further details will help all of us to have a better perspective of the issue. So for me, I don't think that I can put a blame anywhere at this moment, because I don't, as I said, we don't have a lot of information about that. It is now the gentleman's lawyers, they are aware versus the actions of the AG. So let's wait and see what the AG will do today, what kind of explanations will come as to why the arrest, and then we will get to discover whether indeed the AG is right or not. When the explanation come and we disagree with them, we'll let them know we disagree with them. But when they come and we think that there's valid reason for that, they will do. Because I remember there was we have a similar experience in the past about the former PPA boss. Initially, the court froze his account. He went to court to get the court order set aside. The state was, I think, was unaware. And by the time the state realized the monies that were in the account at the time it was for, all the money we were told had been transferred out of the account. So right now, the case is in court. If in the event that he's found guilty and the state wants some money, the accounts that were frozen and the order was set aside, the state was not aware or did not act, and the gentleman transferred, how are you going to get the money back? So I think that we should always also look for the interest of the state. If the AG is thinking that allowing this gentleman to travel and the money will leave his account, and if in the end the state wins and the state needs the money back, the state would have lost the money because it has been transferred, and they want to protect that. I think that there are legal processes to do that. And I think that we should just wait for the AG to give us further and better particulars. Then we can determine whether they are right or wrong.
Elegam, the lawyers have interesting ways of doing their own things. Yesterday, I listened to Godfrey Adjei on the ChannelOne newsroom here on ChannelOne TV, and the explanation he's given is that you recall Hanan was, all charges against him were dropped, and then he was rearrested. So the explanation he's given is that based on those charges being dropped, that order freezing the account is now null, because even when he was rearrested, a new bail process was applied for, and so same should apply to this order freezing his accounts. I don't know what you make of this.
But was there any court pronouncement that the freezing order has been set aside, or just the rearrest?
Just the rearrest.
Okay. That's what
what Dami is saying.
I am not a lawyer, but I believe that I have common sense. the rate at which it looks as though now even criminals can perpetrate crime and hide behind law and processes or loopholes and publicly or openly want to show that even though you all have the perception that I have done this until it's proven, because the law itself says innocent until proven guilty. It worries me as a young person. Why am I saying so? Number two, not so long ago, a certain Ken Oforiatta told us to believe in Ghana, believe in we are a proud nation, etc. Suddenly, this man, after his government left office, does not believe in Ghana and is seeking refuge somewhere. I have maintained everywhere I have gone, and I have said it openly, that Ken Oforiatta is a criminal, and I will maintain that. At the mention of Godfred Odami, I begin to cringe, because this is somebody who has lost every credibility when we talk of law, or somebody who was a past attorney general.
He served as AG.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You saw how Jack Ba's case exposed him on how he was trying to coach them to implicate the current finance minister, Ato Forson. Those things get to me, and it makes me sometimes the way I am blunt, because I feel, why would you want to do something to put another person in trouble because of political convenience or experience or what have you? And so what it means is that when we allow some of these things to happen, it means Ibrahim could even be an innocent person here, but I am machinating everything to find a way to get him guilty just in order to please some people. Now, this is what I read from the Deputy AG's wall. I'm taking an excerpt from what he read. He said, it was, however, Mr. Aludibe's attempt to use false means to empty his frozen account, a bank account with Republic Bank, on Thursday, which occasioned tonight's arrest. So I think it's been very clear, in clear terms, black and white. He was making an attempt to actually assess falsely. So using whichever means to assess something. And you see, before you know it, we'll hear that that account has been emptied, he's in UK, go through processes, and he's living there. We need to even begin to trace them. Look, when matters of this nature happen, I think that unless it is an issue of emergency or health grounds, we should not allow any such persons to travel.
Really?
I believe strongly so. We have, look, politicians in general have taken the Ghanaian for granted for too long. It is the reason why today, when they look at all of us sitting here, oh, somebody is not even interested in watching your morning program today because they look at the politicians. They come and fight. They come after this. They are friends. They just connive to fool us, etc. I don't see reason why suddenly it's like individuals. I'm not saying Hanan is guilty. There's a perception out there that makes it look like politicians and individuals have always become richer than even the state. And then nicely, they get the best lawyers and all of that to protect them. Whilst, pardon my language, pardon my approach. Maybe even a crew here, your cameraman, etc., is struggling to just get medical bills. But somebody has in excess and will also pretend to be with you. And so when these things happen and we're still treating with velvet gloves as though, oh, innocent until proven guilty. So there's some pride in still showing all about as though, I've seen all of this. I can give a lot of other names, etc., but there's no need. I just feel and pray that due process is followed. And for me, at the mention of Godfred Dami, I cringe because unfortunately, his history is a very bad one. He was just good at something else which was not a good thing, if you have to mention Jack Ba's case. But in this particular matter, having quoted what the Deputy AG even wrote on his official timeline, tells you that something untoward was done. Either somebody was attempting to scratch somewhere to see what, then another person will connive. I believe that further investigations will immediately be open into this to unravel what exactly happened, what occasioned that arrest, as he has stated that because of an attempt to access a frozen account. And once an account is frozen, why make an attempt again to
But that's what they are challenging. That's
that is where I say I am not a lawyer and will not want to delve into it. I'm taking it for the face value of what he has said, and the counter they are also given. Let the ball roll. Let us now go to the court or wherever to now make the argument. We will be very interested spectators to observe and see what is being done and then follow it duly.
Very well. Ibrahim, your thoughts on this? If you know you have a pending matter in court, I don't know if the alleged attempt to transfer funds from their account, I mean, it's an allegation or a statement from the Attorney General's Department. We cannot verify it.
Just a quick one. Before it is not allowed to even try to empty, because he said to empty frozen accounts.
Very well. Very well. If you know the situation you are in regarding the law, how do you proceed on some of these matters, even if the court has granted you leeway to travel?
Repeat that again, please. Very quickly.
I'm asking for an individual like Hanan. How do you navigate these waters? Because the statement from the Deputy AG is that there was an attempt to empty a frozen account.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Before I get to, I'll answer the question directly. But before I get that, I need to set the record straight.
Right.
Godfrey Dame is one of the most formidable courtroom lawyers this country has ever had. Regardless of your politics. No, I didn't interrupt, Elikan. Regardless of your politics, sometimes let's give credit where it's due. This young man, even when he was deputy, before he became Attorney General proper, helped make sure that Ghana won judgment debts that we had inherited from the NDC. Multi-million-dollar judgment debts. This man saved Ghana financially. And I can mention, for example, when he won the ENI Vitol International Arbitration, okay, defeating a claim reportedly worth $950 million. We inherited it from them. He saved us nearly $1 billion. Good. Let's go on to he successfully defended Ghana in the Cassis mining arbitration. I can go on. He set aside the 15.3 million judgment debts. Okay, that's with Balkan Energy. If I go on, the show will take a different direction.
Right.
But it's important that when Elikem says something, and he's entitled to it, but politically, sometimes we have to be, let's say, fair to the person. You can attack the politics later, but to say he's done nothing, this man, this young man, no, you said that. You said that.
I never said
Okay,
that.
then let me
Cited the Jackpot case.
I only
Yeah,
made
yeah.
a specific
Okay, I take it. I take it. But my point is that you see how, and those who know me well. If you're good and you're NDC, I'll tell you. Now I'll hit you later. And if you're good in MPP, of course I'll tell you. I'll hit you later if relevant. So let's give credit to Godfrey Dame. Coming back to the issue now, on May the 5th, the Attorney General himself withdrew the charges.
Yeah.
Now, when you go online, I was checking. If somebody withdraws charges, there's all other ancillary charges, freezing of bank accounts, also diminish. The information I'm getting is that no, not necessarily. It depends on how that court order was constructed, freezing the accounts, because they are independent. You know, I'm charging you on this, and I'm also free. You know, there are different applications.
Right.
So what the Attorney General has to prove is whether a subsisting court order freezing the accounts remains in place, number one.
Right.
Secondly, May the 20th, when the Attorney General rearrested, and the High Court said it's a fresh case.
Exactly.
I'm quoting from what I'm getting online. This is not my words, I'm quoting. And again, we can as panelists, we can only work with the information which is also in the public domain. A court order said it's a fresh case. So that lends credence to that. Then you have to apply all the other processes as well. My earlier submission said, not necessarily. It depends on how that freezing of the accounts was done, how it was captured, and the terms under which it was held, until a high court can either cancel it, rescind it, what have you. But the onus is on the Attorney General to also give us that information. And Godfrey Dame said something that was very key in his submission. There is no proof. We all want public officers to be held account. All of us. Let me qualify it. All of us should want them to be held account. Good. But then give us the proof. The law must work. For, you know, and politics has taught some of us something. It is it's like table tennis. Wait small, your time will come. We shouldn't do politics as if, you know, we're there in perpetuity. It won't happen. You know, the way Ghana is suffering right now, you wait. I don't want to make predictions, but Ghanaians know where their thumb goes. So this thing is cyclical. And so why I say cyclical, we should be mindful. Let's do justice. Has anybody said, do not arrest Abdul Hanan? Have you heard it from anybody?
No.
Nobody has said that. You found some evidence. Later you withdraw that evidence. I'm talking Attorney General. Then you put in new evidences. Sorry. But I don't believe any Ghanaian said, why have you arrested this young man? when said Namtamaklo was arrested, I don't believe anybody, unless I stand corrected, I don't recall NDC saying, why did you arrest her? The evidence was put there, and then, again, I'm hoping we'll come back to this issue. Because I heard Honorable Muntaka saying she's in jail. Really? Where? And he said, I can't tell you because it will affect her safety. Are we in Ghana or are we not in Ghana? But anyway, I'm digressing. But it's something that I'm hoping that your producer in the next show or so, not necessarily our show, it's in the public interest. Where is said Namtamaklo, Honorable Muntaka? Tell us where she is. How is she such a state security person that we can't know her whereabouts?
She's a person of high interest.
Really?
High interest.
The money she stole is of high interest. But anyway, let me pivot back here.
But journalists have written to tell where they've said where.
I want to hear from the Interior Minister. But anyway, I'm digressing. I want to stay on topic. I wrote and said Namtamaklo just to say that nobody, as I recall at the time, and he said, why are you arresting her? Likewise, nobody in MPP said, why are you arresting? We are all working for the state and the public interest. You have information. Honorable Anana said him and his wife plead innocent. They deny all charges. So let the process work. Now, the gentleman is going for optician to see his eye doctor. Oponi was given the same travel allowance. Oponi, when he was on trial, Dr. Oponi, let me be more respectful to his name. Dr. Oponi of Cocoa Board was given permission to travel. He came back.
was given permission to travel to his daughter's graduation.
Yeah, so this kind of embarrassing thing. Friday was a holiday. And then you use this opportunity. For me, it's like you're trying to embarrass. And we should be above that. I'm talking the state. When, if indeed it's true, when did he attempt to empty the accounts? At that critical moment, should not trigger an arrest warrant? Because Friday was a holiday.
Why wait till he gets the
Friday was a holiday. So you can't tell me he did it on Friday. The banks were closed. And if you're talking about emptying the accounts, you can't do Momo transfer with that volume of money per their allegation.
Right.
So, one, I'm presupposing that you, Attorney General, are not lying. See how I framed it? I'm presupposing the Attorney General is not lying. So give us the evidence, as Honorable Godfrey Dame has said. When you do that, it makes we, the panelists' job easier to say, oh, here's the evidence. Oh, look, there's no evidence. So there you can then, we can then channel our critique of either at the Attorney General or Hanan. So in the absence of the evidence, that alone is telling. Again, bear in mind, Friday is a holiday. So the thing happened before. He traveled, wasn't on Sunday. So let's assume the thing happened on Thursday. I'm giving...
Not assume. That's what they
good.
happened on Thursday.
So you had Friday and Saturday to arrest him. Why didn't you arrest him? So I can empty my account, or attempt to, but only when I'm traveling you can arrest me.
Godfrey Dame said he was denied access because they said they don't work on weekends.
You're saying that Godfrey Dame said what? Let me get it right.
He was denied access.
Who
to
was
Hanan.
denied access?
He, Godfrey Dame, as a lawyer. He was in the company of Hanan's wife. They wanted to see Hanan,
I get you.
But
I thought you were saying the Attorney General could not go and arrest Hanan because it was a weekend.
That's what the Supreme Court says. People can even be granted bail on weekends.
On weekends.
Yes.
So what's the holiday weekend?
Politically, and I'm saying this to government. I'm saying this to government in all humility. Power will change. Just like the rains will come next year. There's nothing you can do about it. Power will change. Bear in mind that one day I'll be sitting here as we did before, and Elekem will be sitting here. I get on well with Elekem because our focus on Ghana, I think, generally the same. He hits NDC, not all the time.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. You know, I hit, I think, MPP more because I want the party to succeed. I'm not saying I'm a lone ranger in this, but what's good is good. And our viewers know what's good. So you say what's good, and it adds value to your party when you say what the people are seeing and observing.
Right.
That's my message to all communicators on my party. Let's work in the interest of Ghana when it's a political issue. And you'll see that come 2028, the benefit will be ours. And inshallah, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia will benefit from that because his integrity is the same. Dr. Bawumia, if you look at his political lineage, his utterances, is always Ghana first. He won't give political cover to anybody. And this is all why a lot of people across party lines really revere or appreciate the politics of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. So this is what the AG needs to understand. You're there for a term. Ghanaians, and I want to applaud Ghanaians. Your wisdom keeps us in check. And when things shift, you look back and say, did I do the right thing? Don't rearrest for political optics. Because that's how I see it. Because you had the opportunity, if indeed it's true, to arrest before this.
You know, interestingly, Ibrahim's Bawumia that lost an election miserably not so long ago. It's very well revered. I'm happy to hear that. But
he got 41. Hold on. Let me answer. Listen, in 2016, your guy got 44%. And good. Dr. Bawumia got 41%. So, how's that miserably? Give me your quantum of miserably.
You need to know that the voter quantity at that time compared to the next time was not
Good,
the same. So when
you can take that.
So I can give you
Otherwise,
I can give you a lot of
2.4 million MPP didn't vote.
Didn't vote.
Elkem, check this out. I want you to do this test for me.
Okay.
Take any constituency in Ghana, any constituency, whether Volta or Ashanti, and just look for the NDC MP vote. In 2020, look at the NDC vote, MPO, then 2024, same constituency, look at the NDC's vote. It does not move.
Okay, so you presented a bad product. So
I'm telling you that your votes didn't move. Your votes did not move.
What I want to even suggest, that's something.
But anyway,
I'm also just assuming that banking today is no longer about going to the physical structure to have transactions.
I mentioned it.
Yeah, so when you were saying that the huge amounts can really be transferred. So someone probably in the dead of night, 1 a.m., I'm just saying, maybe at 1 a.m., Hanan attempted going online to see if he could transfer funds, and then it triggered, and so you may never know. I'm just saying. So don't be quick to think that when did this happen and they had to.
And Elkem, you're right. Elkem, you're right. That transaction is called a data packet. You know when you type on your phone, even if you don't send, it records the keyboard strokes. That keyboard stroke, once the packet hits the server of his bank, and the bank is Republic. Elvis said didn't want to mention it. It's in public domain, so I'll mention it. It's Republic Bank.
The deputy AG puts it out.
Yeah, it's in the public domain. That data is captured. Okay? So, again, we're talking the same thing. So I'm saying that Attorney General, Ofane, Mr. Amapamucho, bring that data and say this is the login which hit the account.
Very well.
It's simple matter.
But
It is like preliminary.
I'm agreeing with you.
If
Simple. Bring
there
the
is a
proof.
court order, the bank will put an alert on.
Exactly.
And whether it's electronic or
Which will
physical,
be why and how.
no matter what attempt to make, the transfer will not go through because the account has been blocked.
Right.
So even if the Hanan attempted and the thing is blocked, doesn't warrant an arrest. So I'm suspecting that what I'm suspecting
That's a
is
good
this.
point.
Probably the AG, maybe Hanan lawyers had written to the bank that because the charges were dropped and rearrested, as Dan is arguing, it means that the freeze order is also off, and therefore Hanan should have access to that. It's possible that might be what has happened.
Question whether it warrants an arrest, I doubt. It's just like somebody's been barred from entering this premise.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, your cameras captured that he's been found close by. You would have to be real.
No, it's not close by. It's against the security says you can't enter. How you arrest the person?
We'll have to leave it here. Our time is spent.
The security says you are
Thank you so much,
banned.
gentlemen.
Why
Thank
do
you,
you
Ibrahim.
arrest
Thank you, Elikem. Thank you, Elvis. I am Nanatu Boateng. This has been the News Review segment on Breakfast Daily. Please stay with us. The show continues after this.
Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, Africa. And good morning to the rest of the world. Welcome to Breakfast Daily, where we tell your stories and empower the change that you truly deserve. Wherever you're watching us from, whether you're watching from Ashaiman, Tema, the northern region, the central region, the Volta region, once again, you are welcome. I am Dede Davis.
And I am Wahab Abdulrazak. We've got a lot for you today, and we want to say a big thank you to you for always choosing to start your morning with us On the show today, we're going to bring you what is making waves on the internet, of course, bring you insightful conversations, and also a dose of entertainment to make your morning.
And don't forget that you are so much part of this show. And so do well to send in your messages and your contributions as the show progresses to the WhatsApp number 0204 4447033. I take it again, 0204 4447033, and we will get to read it right here on the show. Wahab?
Today,
Samia.
yes,
Samia, how was your weekend?
It was heartbreaking.
Did you watch the Ghana match?
That was, I mean, you know.
Oh, so you were broken
I just, put myself together, and I'm sure that's the story of many of our viewers as well.
Well,
but how was it for you?
It's good I slept at some point, because where I saw the
At what
match.
points did you sleep?
Oh, after the first half. In fact, after the first half, I just went straight to bed because there was no way. No, there was no way we would make it. Nah, there was no way.
It was very heartbreaking.
The lineup, I don't know what was happening with our teammate, team members. It was a lot of things were, a lot was wrong. But yeah,
we are back to our homeland.
Oh, they sent us back to our homeland.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so at ChannelOne TV, we believe in storytelling because it empowers change. And so last year, we decided to focus on the northern region. And what did we do? We put together the Northern Business Fair. And it's a fair that allows businesses to showcase to the world, connect with potential clients. And it's an opportunity where the region can be part of this trade showcase. So entrepreneurs, SMEs, investors, innovators, industry players can come together to connect, exhibit, network, and unlock new business opportunities. And so if you're a business out there, whether you're looking to grow your brand, discover new products, build valuable partnerships, I reiterate, build valuable partnerships, the Northern Business Fair is the place to be from the 25th to the 26th of July 2026 at the Jubilee Park, Tamale, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. You can be part of the Northern Business Fair 2nd edition. Please call 0205-973-973. I take it again, 0205-973-973. Call this number, make all the enquiries you need to make, and secure your spot to be part of the biggest fair in the Northern region. We'd like to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, EcoBank, the National Petroleum Authority, GEPA, for sponsoring and supporting the Northern Business Fair all through the fair. And then we have Blanksins. Blanksins. Blanksins, a beautiful drama series that was put together by ChannelOne TV, the crew. Everyone was from ChannelOne TV. They put this beautiful piece together for us. And so every family, Wahab, has a secret. Yeah. But the secrets can change everything.
Exactly.
And so in the Blanksins, you would experience compelling storytelling, unforgettable characters like Mensa, the gatesman, Mr. Blanksin, the matriarch of the house, Mrs. Blanksin, Opebia, the intelligent daughter, and Kobe, the not so intelligent, but he's hanging in there. And all the shenanigans about the Blanksins family. This drama series presents to you an unforgettable drama series that will keep you coming back for more. Like I mentioned earlier, it's an original drama series proudly produced by us, ChannelOne TV.
And each episode keep getting better.
It gets better.
It's always putting in suspense
it gets
to
better.
Anticipate more. Yeah.
So far, my favorite was the part where Mrs. Blankson, you know, was embarking on a spiritual journey. And it was funny because, you know, you would expect her to know better.
Yeah.
But of course, that thing there, anyone can fall
it
victim.
can happen
so
to
yeah.
anyone. Yeah.
So she fell victim, and you know it was sad. But at the end of the day, the family came together and you know
Put things
back to normal and made headway.
I think she should have taken a time a little bit, but you know. She was just in a haste too.
Yeah, I mean, in your spiritual journey, when you receive the word of God, when you receive prophecies and whatnot, you also have to sit down and reflect. Yeah,
exactly. That's the
go
point.
to God. God, this is what the word says. Is this the word for my life? Test the spirits and get to know the word of God for your life.
And that's what I think she failed to do. There isn't.
I mean, she put so much faith and trust in the prophet, and look where it landed her. So yeah, tune in to Channel One TV every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. We'll be bringing you refreshing new episodes of the Blanksons drama series every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. You can catch the repeats. If you're unable to catch it at 7:30 p.m., you can catch the repeats at 11:30 a.m. on Fridays, 7 p.m. on Saturdays, 4:30 p.m. on Sundays, 3 p.m. on Saturdays, 3 p.m. on Tuesdays, I beg your pardon, and 5:30 p.m. on Wednesdays. We'd like to say a very big thank you to our amazing, super amazing sponsors, Nasco Electronics, Lizzie Shito, Out Insecticide Spray, Everpack, and Lily Rice.
Now join us on Community Kickoff on Channel One Television, where we put spotlight on local talent, community football, and all that. It's a show that we have here on Channel One Television to full passion for beautiful game. You know, there are amazing stories of all these big talent you see now. Unfortunately, Ghana, we are back to our homeland, but you know, the journeys of some of these great players from their communities where they started and all that, we have the show. So from thrilling matches to inspiring player stories and unforgettable moments, Community Kickoffs celebrate football as its very foundation. So don't miss it. Don't miss Community Kickoff, only on Channel One Television every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. with Bernard Abeku-Otre. He takes you through communities in Ghana. So from Nima to Ashaman, you go to Mamobi, Jamestown, all the communities, we will go there. So join Bernard Abeku-Otre every Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. sharp, as he brings you that show.
Yeah, so tune in every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. and catch a new episode of Community Kickoff with Bernard Abeku-Otre.
Wednesday, actually.
Tuesdays, 5:30 p.m. Yeah. So tune in and catch very exciting episodes. Now, you know, on Channel One TV, on Breakfast Daily, we bring you the weather forecast every morning so that you can know how the day would go,
just
and
so
you are abreast. Yes, so that you can plan your day accordingly. So let's check out today's weather forecast. right, so there you have it, our summary for today's weather. This morning, southern Ghana will generally be mostly cloudy with rain of varying intensity accompanied by occasional thunder expected over parts of the coastal and middle sectors. Mist or fog patches are also likely to form over parts of the coast, forest and hilly areas during the early hours. Meanwhile, northern Ghana will experience partly cloudy conditions as the day progresses into the afternoon. Northern Ghana will become mostly sunny with periodic cloud cover, while the southern half remains predominantly mostly cloudy. However, thunderstorms or rain are expected over parts of southern Ghana later this afternoon. And so that is the weather forecast from 6 a.m. today. And so please do well to stay safe out there. If you have no business in town, please don't go to town. If you can do your business via Zoom or any digital means, please do so and stay safe, because the rains, we are in the season, is going to come, and it's important that you keep safe and take very good care of yourself. Up next is What's Trending. Yes, so you're welcome back. It's now time to delve into what's trending on social media. And on what's trending, we bring you all the topics, the juicy topics that are trending on social media, on X, Instagram, Twitter. Did I say Twitter? X. So X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever social media, whatever social media is, will bring you all that is trending. Wahab, what is trending on our social media today?
So our coach, or I should say our former coach, Carlos Cruz.
Well, GFE hasn't said anything
Yes, so
yet,
there's no official confirmation.
But he on his page has said that he's saying goodbye and he's going back to his country.
After bringing us back to our homeland, right?
Well, to be fair, he had a short time with the team. The team had a short time with him, and he did his best to, you know, get us to a certain level, even though it's not where we wished
to go,
where we wished we wanted to get to, but he did his part.
Yeah, I think he truly did.
Yeah, he did his part.
Because when he was unveiled, there are two things that he said that really stuck with me. He said he would try as much as possible to bring the love back. And I think he was able to achieve that to a larger extent, although unfortunately we could not progress to the next stage with that match with Colombia. But he did work from the onset, right? Looking at the match with Panama and all that. Yeah, we tried our best. He did his best, actually. And like you mentioned, if he had had more time with the team to experience him more, to really understand, so that they really understand him proper. I think Jordan even made a statement like that. It would have, I think, yielded a better result than what we've seen so far. It's just unfortunate. Only when I decided to also hop on the jersey business, I was just intending to make my order later today and look at this. So it's Ashegu.
That's sad. It's sad. I mean, you know, our last game wasn't the best.
It wasn't.
And a lot of people argue that the problem was from the bench because quite a number of players were on bench, and we felt that if they had been if they had been part of the game against Colombia, we would have gotten some results. Senaya's injury caused the team a lot.
Yeah,
it caused the team so much. and the team had no way of recovery. And so you see Thomas Partey, Iñaki Williams, Sibo, they weren't helping Thomas at all. They were just frustrating the guy through and through. And it's sad, but then again, well done to the team. Jordan, I didn't see much of him. He gets the ball, he doesn't progress the ball,
Yeah.
he doesn't put
I think
pressure.
in this match, the coordination we saw from England wasn't really there. But let's also not forget that Colombia is not a chewing stick. They came ready. Looking at their performances in all the matches they've played, they're a tough team as well. So nonetheless, if we're able to stand England with that energy, with that excellent defense, nothing stopped us from putting up same or even better performance than what we did. Very unfortunate, very, very disturbing.
Anyway, we have a statement. Let's check the statement from the Carlos, actually. Yeah. So he says, to Ghana, football, like life, teaches us one timeless lesson. You either win or you learn. I leave this journey with pride in what we've achieved, but also with the healthy dissatisfaction of those who always wanted more. Reaching a higher level should never be the destination. It should be the beginning to even greater ambitions. The future of the Black Stars will not be built only on the pitch. Black Stars' success must start off the field by creating the best possible environment to prepare, protect, and develop Ghana's extraordinary football talent. To my president and board, thank you so much for the opportunity to serve the Ghana national football team. It was an honor and a privilege to serve the country and the Black Stars. To my players and staff, my deepest gratitude for your courage, commitment, and unwavering dedication to the team. To the fans, we cannot claim complete sporting satisfaction, but we can proudly say that we honored the colors of Ghana and restored respect and credibility to the Black Stars on football's greatest stage. Thank you, Ghana. The journey starts now, indeed.
The journey starts
really
now.
starts now.
Yeah.
We have a lot of work to do.
We have to
so
put
much
ourselves
work to
together
do.
from
Yeah.
now. We don't have to wait till the next, World Cup or maybe AFCON. We have to start now. And I think his third paragraph summarized everything. He could have just shown everything and put the third paragraph there. It summarized everything.
I would have wished he stayed. Yeah, looking at what he did with the team in this short period, I would have wished he stayed and see where he takes the team from here. But then again, let's see
It is what it is.
Yeah, but the whole team needs to be relooked. We need a revamp. Let's take some players out. Jordan,
you think so?
You've done a good job. We thank you. But it's time to take a bow and let someone who progresses the game, someone who is
progresses the game,
and and able to stand up to our opponents, not someone who is always, on the floor. Nah, we need someone who can progress the game and give us the results as a captain. We've seen so many captains who have come and gone. We've seen the impact. Stephen Appiah, Asamoah Gyan,
of course.
We've seen their impact.
Even his brother, did they?
Yeah, we've seen their impact. So thank you, but take a bow. Let another person come. Let's check out some comments on social media. All right. Mohammed says, here we go, out the door. Quick turnaround. Respect for stepping in at a short notice, though. Carlos, Ghana. You just met Derek says, came in April, secured his 5th career World Cup appearance, got knocked out by Colombia and dipped by July. Carlos Queiroz treated the Black Stars like a high-paying summer consultancy gig. Maximum efficiency. Planks GH says, dissolve the entire Ghana Football Association and the Black Stars Management Board. Kovilina says, he rejects them at terms and conditions be that. We don't know the terms and conditions.
Boomer, Boomer says he wasn't going to achieve much if Jordan Ayew still spearheads the attack in 2026. Rude says, respect to Carlos Queiroz, took over on a short-term deal, got Ghana to the World Cup knockout for the first time since 2010, and restored pride and reorganization to the Black Stars. Class act and true football legend. Wishing him all the best for whatever is next. Yes. So that's Rude there.
Yeah.
I think he's paid his due. He did well. He did great. Taking over the team on that short notice ahead of that crucial World Cup. And I was just imagining, thinking of after the Colombian match, I was asking myself, so if it was still the old system where we had 32 teams, it means we wouldn't have even existed. Because with this one, we qualified to the next stage even before finishing our group stage games. You understand? Because of the initial performance we put out. So if it was still the old system where we had 32 games, it means from get-go we were back to our homeland.
And you see countries like Morocco playing so beautifully, and Morocco, I think Morocco can make it
they can.
Maybe semi-finals.
I will not be surprised.
I won't be surprised at all.
I
won't be surprised.
won't.
With the kind of performance I've seen so far, I think they're a great team and they can progress up until the semi-finals.
Yeah, they have the potential.
Yeah, and talk of exits, Tunisia's coach, Reynad has also taken a bow. Just, he came in at
also
a short,
to the World Cup
because
as well.
they had lost and then they needed to
replace.
Exactly. So he's also taking a bow. Let's see who comes next to coach. And talk of Black Stars coach, there have also been calls for Kwesi Appiah.
Back.
Yeah.
I doubt.
Calls for Kwesi Appiah to also come back.
Well, for me, I don't think he would.
You don't think he would?
Yeah, he would accept that offer if it's being presented to him. That's what I believe, though, because he's doing well with his current team and all that. Leading up to World Cup, when we were searching, I think his name was among the few that people were actually rooting for to come and man the theme. But at this point, I doubt.
It will be good to have him, though.
Yeah.
It will be good to have him.
Well, let's see how things unfold.
Let's see who coaches the Black Stars next. Up until the next one is still around the World Cup. FIFA allegedly suspended a USA player red card decision. Folarin Balogun will be available to play in USA's round of 16 match against Belgium on Monday. FIFA announced the American player picked up a red card in his game against Bosnia after an obvious foul from a bad tackle by him and was sent off. Balogun scored in the 2-0 win against Bosnia and was expected to miss USA's next match. However, the FIFA disciplinary committee has allegedly suspended the red card issued to the USA striker during their round of 32 win over Bosnia. Anyway, that's a good one.
It is there.
At this stage, I think you just have to be careful not to attract any red card. Because if you attract a red card, it means you're going to miss
the next match. Yeah.
So just, be guided properly so that you don't attract any form of red card. And this is Donald Trump's tweet. He says, "Thank you to FIFA for doing what was right and reversing a great injustice," with an exclamation mark. President.
Emphasis.
Yeah. All right, let's check out some comments on social media. James says, FIFA lose all credibility. If the USA wins, it will not be legitimate. Rules are in place for a reason. Every team now will ask FIFA to rescind their red cards. What do you mean? What do you mean? A red being suspended is not new. It was done during the World Cup qualifier where Ronaldo got a straight red card but got 1 game ban instead of 3 games?
Adjei says, I hope it stays with this decision and hope the game isn't already fixed. So that's Adjei there. Mirajo Hassan, he says, FIFA is not rigged, right? So Samara, he said, well, didn't the world always say this tournament is fixed for certain teams? Guess what? This proves it.
All right.
I think that this would have been a big blow on the theme because he's proved a lot of things in the matches. He's done so well. Look at the last goal he scored during that game. Yeah. So it was bad. I kind of understand the sentiment in most of the comments we just read. Would it have been the same for African teams?
Yeah.
So the last but one comment from, I think, Sam, he was saying FIFA is rigged and all that. It exposes that opinion that people have about it and all that. But let's see how it goes, whether the same thing he did, when someone else do it, he will be granted that and all.
Anyway, that's what's trending on social media for you. Let's check out the video of the day. You know, in our first trend, X was trolling Jordan and you.
Yeah.
And in fact, since Saturday, the guy has had no peace whatsoever. He's had no peace on X. It's been one trolling to the other. One person saying he has to go, another person saying he didn't do anything. No shots on target and all of that. And this, so the video says, Jordan, after hearing the pilot say, we finally reached our destination. That's Jordan in his act saying, oh, hearing the pilot say, you finally reached your destination. You should know what Ghanaians would do to you. They would beat you mercilessly.
So that anxiety,
yeah.
I understand. But I think Ghanaians, you know, let's just be fair to them. We should understand, like Carol Scores is saying, it's not only, Ghana's win doesn't start on the pitch, it starts off the pitch. So I think with what they've done so far, they've proved something. Yeah. That if we put in more preparation and all that, we can do better than this. Yeah. I see, leading up to the game, a lot of people actually, I did some voice pop, a lot of people didn't believe we can make it. We can even exit the group stage.
Well, I didn't.
You did.
I'm one of those persons.
And I'm sure a lot of people also hold that same
had zero
opinion
faith in them. But watching Ghana versus Panama, the confidence was gradually building. In fact, I was challenging my colleague in the office, Angela, that Colombia's match, Ghana would win, hands down. She was like, are you sure? I said, yes. With what I've seen, I mean, we'll beat them. Forget. I was even telling her that Carlos Queiroz has coached Colombia before, so he knows.
I think I remember making same arguments.
Yeah, he knows the inside out of the team. Like, I was so confident, and
they overwhelmed us like that.
I tell you, to see this embarrassing result from the team is not the best. We need to go back to the drawing board, do our homework,
erase certain things, withdraw what we need to,
exactly. Anyway, that's what's trending on social media for you, bringing you all that is buzzing. Jordan Ayew, the Black Stars, and everything World Cup. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll delve into our communities.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you very much for staying with us. This is Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne television. It's time now to delve into our communities. And today is exactly 1 week after that devastating flood, rain that later brought out the flood in part of Accra. And a week after, people are still grappling with clearing the debris that this flood waters came with. So my colleague Nana Tufo Boaten visited some communities to really assess how the clearing of the debris and all that is going. Let's look at this report. So when we come back, there's more.
The floodwaters are gone, but what they have left behind tells a troubling story. Across several communities in Accra, piles of refuse and other debris line roadsides and choke drains. The aftermath of the floods has exposed long-standing sanitation challenges that residents say have only become worse. Many households have gathered flood-soaked belongings and refuse outside their homes, hoping that they will be collected. But in many areas, the waste remains untouched for days. This is Aveno, and refuse from households, some washed to the roadside, others gathered by the residents and dumped here in anticipation that waste collectors will move in here and collect it. But days after the flooding incident on June 29, the refuse continued to sit here, blocking the main road. Vehicles are unable to access the other end towards the railway line because the refuse has taken over the road. Residents are lamenting the situation and calling on authorities to come and clear the refuse from the main road.
Yeah. So after the rain, where we start the work, and since Monday it has been here, and you came here marking the containers.
Who came to mark the containers?
The AMA is the containers the problem. You came here without any engineer, and you came marking stores. Is the stores the problem?
Wa assemblyman e ke wo lo ke ba juligbe si AMA ke trust can be baba kuna baba lo. She up to now since Monday after the rain na me feel like announcement because of many ballers je your machine am here. We ke wo lo ke ba juligbe si ke je Monday any abon baller lo up to now am ba fi ko lo gba wona wa because bi an baller e je fun ni bi an ba nya malaria ke eneme corilla lo sana me ko na mamba fi
bi ele won pin wa lenche won pin mani bi efite mani bi ete ma ska diete manu chomo jin fe fite ameska jin fe te ni akwene me na ba na wo mo bona ba ko na wa wo na ba lo jeje bi ake won ye bibibi ni korila ba gba wona ke ni bi wo ba titi yen la won to me fa mi ba lo bola kodi meni na menu chomo efite na meska diete na meni ye fe mo bo ameba wa me.
Honorable, thank you for the opportunity. How come there's so much refuse in your electoral area?
It happened on Monday. You can see there are still waste in every part of the community. So personally, as the assembly member of the community, I tasked the entire community members to bring their waste to vantage places for easy collection. I did that because if care is not taken, this waste will find itself in the storm drain again, which is going to create another havoc for all of us. So I asked them to bring it here. This is the 5th day. Collection has been a problem one way or the other. One, the dumping site is even full. I have to organize tipper truck. Yesterday, I was here at one tipper truck came to convey 1 year. I'm still waiting for them to come and convey. They say they are still on their way. The AMA2 is doing his best, go to circle on another part. I mean, it's scattered all over the place. Now, my biggest issue has to do with even the drip machines. The drip machines. I'm expecting that places that were not affected by the flooding, they should also bring their part of their drip machine to aid in the collection. It's because you see, what we are experiencing here, my fear is that if we don't take it, there is going to be an outbreak of what? Cholera.
There's a similar situation here on the median of the main Achimota to Circle Road at the Caprice section, where we popularly call Caprice. At this section, there's a similar situation where residents from the community who have been affected by the flooding are bringing, if you like, flood-soaked refuse into the median, where they are dumping on the pavement of the median. The explanation we've been given is that it's the directive of the assemblyman to prevent the waste or the refuse from going back into the drains.
Per me, imagine the ideas not there, man, better because not ni na ko gota na no stop we say no, it's wrong. E pesa go gota no mbiom na aketi more problem ti. Why not yan fan back kwan no ho? Am at the end of the day no be claim free o. Nti for now ni dey otumi aka kire no no.
How many days
oh, we say the there no pay ya fiesie no mu a. We say the there na abegu ano.
Ordinarily, you would expect the water to flow underneath this bridge. But here, just behind the Kweye Methodist Church, is a pile of plastic waste, impeding the flow of water that is going into the Kole. And this is the danger that we've been reporting about. You can see for yourself plastic bottles, plastic materials that occupy a space which naturally is designated for water to allow for free flow. This is what happens, blocks the pathway of the water, and then when the rains come, the water overflows its banks and runs into our communities. A reflection of our failure regarding proper waste management and sanitation in the country. Accompanying the growing sanitation crisis is the threat of a public health crisis. Now, the head of the Public Health Directorate at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly warns that if urgent action is not taken, the sanitation problem could trigger a public health crisis.
The country waste management system is having a lot of challenges because we do not have a single engineer landfill site that is standing and you say this is a very good engineer landfill site. When waste is not managed well, you see where the train is going on. It's something that we need to handle very seriously because they can also lead to what we call foodborne disease or waterborne diseases. It is a serious business that the government need to play their role, assembly need to play their role, the private partners also need to play their role.
Now, the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Akwele Oklu, has given some assurances that measures are being put in place to help address the sanitation crisis.
Has been resolved. And so you could see that even those tricycles with the heap of refuse has all been directed to Achimota. And so that is where has been their dumping site. So we've resolved all the challenges. So for initial, the owners were agitating and we were able to meet them. They brought up their grievances and it has been resolved. So nowadays our dumping site is there and people are dumping in there. The tricycles, all of them has been directed to Achimota, and so that has been their dumping site. So you could see that you've not even seen any tricycle, parks. In fact, we met a couple of the service providers. That was yesterday, and we had a lengthy meeting. Local government minister was there. Stan Dogbe, the committee, all the committee was present, and so they've not come out with their findings yet. And I believe when they come out with their findings, the media will be in a known.
While flood-hit communities in Accra continue to grapple with debris left behind by the heavy rains, many residential areas that escape the floods are grappling with a different sanitation problem. Household refuse is piling up, not because it has not been collected, but because waste collectors say inadequate dumping sites are making it difficult to dispose of the waste they collect. So if you come to areas such as Tesano, you would find that various households have packed out their waste, their rubbish, and it sits in their bins in front of their gates. and they remain uncollected. So this is the situation that I feel like residential areas that escaped the flooding have to deal with. Meanwhile, some persons affected by the June 29 floods are still counting their losses. They've lost their shelter, their homes, their clothes, their mattresses, with nowhere to lay their heads and no food to fill their bellies. They're calling on the government for assistance.
The rain there, when it was coming, we just went out because we were trapped inside. They came and opened us and brought it house.
You were trapped how? The water was pushing against the door, so you couldn't...
Yeah, we couldn't open. We couldn't open the door.
The door is locked.
The door is locked by the water, so we were not able to come out. They came and carried us out. It was not easy.
Were you able to save anything?
No, anything. We didn't take even our money self. All is gone. Our bed, we don't have anything. We are just getting help from the families. They are giving us small so that we can support. So government should help us.
This is my personal room. This is the water level. Everything has gone. Everything. So as you can see, there's no that more MC, nothing. You can see everything. This is I left with my antenna. He left only this thing for me, the antenna.
They were still in Aveno, the footbridge over the Odo, the main drain here. If like the stairs or the staircase that leads you onto the main footbridge has come down, and community members have managed to put together some blocks to assist residents who will be using the footbridge. And you can tell the difficulty with which especially the women in the community have to navigate this particular footbridge. Linking the community to the other end, or if like to the main road, is this footbridge. And at just at the end of the footbridge is the Ekpe Methodist Church and school. Now students from this community will be using the same bridge that today has broken to access their school. This is where the real danger is that requires urgent attention. At the Alajo Bridge, the Ayawaso Central Municipal Assembly is embarking on an exercise to evacuate or remove vehicles that were swept into the drain by floodwaters on Monday, June 29. We are told that there are about 20 cars in the drains, and the assembly is committed with the help of dredge masters, the National Disaster Management Organization, and other adjoining municipal assemblies to remove all the vehicles to allow for free flow of water.
It's a follow-up on what happened from Monday. And since Monday, we've been on the ground, aside evacuation of the fields within the drains. We are also trying to remove the cars that fell in the drains. And then we have to arrange with the dredge masters to also come in to assist. And then we were here too with NADMO this morning. They also have some cranes around to see how best together we can collaborate to make sure that any other fields that is in the drain has been cleared.
The MC also gave assurances regarding the sanitation crisis within the Aveno area, which also falls under his jurisdiction. He, however, cites the number of hours spent at the various dump sites as the reason for the delay in clearing the debris or the refuse from the roadsides.
We've advised that they should bring it along the street so we can clear. So if you move from here, like I said, when you get to, you see that we have tippers working. The challenge too that we have is the number of hours they spend when they go to the dump site. Because currently, as I speak with you, we have about 5 trucks stuck there. It's been like 4 hours this. They are stuck there. They are yet to come. So it also slows down the collection for us. But in all, we will say that we are doing our best to make sure that at least we evacuate most of the filth along the streets and along the drains.
Very heartbreaking and frustrating scenes from some of the flood-affected areas, grappling with ways to deal with the debris and waste in their community. And these we are talking about are flood-contaminated waste, not any other, not mere household waste or some flood-contaminated waste, which carries a lot of sewage, it carries a whole lot of things, and it's still sitting in their homes because up until now, they can't get to dispose of this waste. That's very heartbreaking. This flood today has actually exposed a lot of things. It has not only exposed a weak drainage system in the country and flood mitigation efforts, but has also exposed our inefficient waste management in the country. Because look at it. It's not only these flood-affected areas that are struggling with disposing of waste, but even the areas which were not affected. Come to think of it, very, very, and this actually happened across the capital and even the country by large. Our waste management system is in limbo, and I think we have to deal with it. Let's stay on this and speak to the Executive Director of Eco-Conscious, Awula Sewa. Good morning, madam.
Good morning to you and your viewers. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. We hope you're doing well.
Well, in the circumstances, we just thank God we are alive. Thank you.
All right, let's look at it. How dangerous it is. Exactly a week today, we were hit by that devastating flood on June 29, and up until now, as we're speaking, some communities are still struggling to dispose of the debris and the waste that these flood waters came along with. How dangerous it is?
Well, I mean, it's very dangerous. We can have a lot of disease because of all this waste around and not being properly disposed of. But as was said before, all this exposes the myriad of problems we have with our waste management, which is in shambles, and a lot of infrastructural problems. But also, what is of great concern is the way there's little enforcement. You know, the rain should not have caused this amount of damage, and our hearts go out to those who have lost relatives, because there was loss of life. Property is one thing. We can replace it, but we cannot replace human life. And we need not have had the devastation we had if there had not been the human behavior. For instance, I mean, I know people whose houses were flooded in La because of the Kweshi. The Kweshi is supposed to be a wetland. We have allowed people to encroach on it. There have been no consequences. So they have caused other people who are built lawfully to have their homes flooded. What exactly are we doing about it? There's very, very little enforcement. So this is something we need to look at. You know, before the floods, I remember the regional minister went around identifying structures that were in the waterway and that needed to be removed. How far did we get with that? We have to understand that there's a reason why we have wetlands, there's a reason why we have open spaces. And if you go and build everywhere, there'll be consequences because water needs somewhere to go. There needs to be somewhere for the runoff. And we have the duty bearers need to be held accountable because they have allowed lawlessness with impunity and not done anything about it. And we have to hold them accountable for the loss of life.
Well, many people blame residents for indisciplinary actions such as indiscriminate dumping of refuse, encroachment on wetlands and all that. And others, also blame city authorities and government by extension. Where really does the responsibility rely? Is it with the resident or the city authorities? Where is the line?
Of course. I mean, residents need to be responsible. I mean, the Constitution says that it's the duty of every citizens to protect the environment. We need to be responsible. We can't just be throwing litter everywhere, using the gutters as dustbins. We cannot build irresponsibly. Of course, we should be held accountable. But that is why we have laws and regulations. And that is why we have duty bearers. Because it is recognized that in every society, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. You have those who are lawless and those who behave lawfully. So it is up to the duty bearers to ensure that the proper thing is done. Buildings are not put up in a day. It takes some time. When we find out that our wetlands, our Ramsar sites are being encroached, what do we do about it? The issue has been a bone of contention for a long time. Takumono, and the authorities don't do anything. I remember receiving a call a few months ago that the Peshi, people were bringing rubbish to dump on the Peshi so they could build. I managed to contact the regional minister on Facebook and informed her. You see, it comes to a stage where the duty bearers also have to do the needful. They have to do the needful. Residents may be engaging in unlawful behavior. That is why you are there. That is why there's enforcement. But if you just watch them, then of course you're more accountable in the sense that it is your duty to ensure that our laws are obeyed. You have the apparatus at your disposal to deal with them. An individual can only report the lawlessness to the authorities. But if they choose to do nothing about it, we have a dilemma.
Aula, what's harsher? I believe that the laws, that maybe our laws are not harsh enough to put residents or citizens in check. So as an eco-conscious citizen, what harsh penalties would you propose we put in place to ensure that we avoid indiscriminate waste disposal and building in our waterways?
The laws are there. They are adequate. There's nothing wrong with our laws. The only problem we have is enforcement. Let me give you an example. On plot 105, Obenesu Crescent in Cantonment, Brick and Steel Limited has put a double-decker container inside the gutter. This is in Ladade Kotopo Municipal Assembly. They themselves had painted in red, removed by 31st December 2025, where in July 2026, the structure is still in the gutter. The laws are there. You cause it to be removed and you prosecute the directors of Brick and Steel Limited and get the cost of the removal from them. The laws are there, but we refuse to apply the laws. People are building on. Hello?
Hi, yes, we can hear you.
I'm sorry. People are building on a Ramsar site. All you need to do is to stop them, prosecute them, and demolish the structures. We refuse to enforce laws. You cannot make eggs. You cannot make eggs without you cannot make an omelette without breaking eggs. We don't want to do the needful. We are afraid of, votes, so I don't know what we are afraid of. But we need to just do the right thing. The laws are there. We don't need any more laws. We have sufficient laws. We have the penalties. What is missing is the willingness to apply the laws we have. When you put up a structure unlawfully, the structure should be removed. It doesn't matter who you are. The law is not a respecter of persons. But a lot of the time, we find out who it is, and then we are afraid to act. And then others begin to do the same thing with impunity because there are no consequences. The same Ghanaians, when they are outside the country, behave properly because there are consequences. And you don't have to go far. Go to neighboring Rwanda. Do Ghanaians go there and build willy-nilly? Of course not, because they know there will be consequences. In Ghana, we kind of applaud lawlessness, and there are no consequences, or very few consequences. Maybe if you are a political opponent. But otherwise, you build on Ramsar sites, you build in forest reserves, you destroy the environment, and nothing much happens to you.
Aula, has Accra outgrown its waste management infrastructure? Because as we're speaking, even areas that were not affected by the flood are still, struggling to dispose of their household waste. Has Accra outgrown its waste management infrastructure?
Well, so what I'll say is that I'm not quite sure we have a proper waste management infrastructure. In sensible countries, you first of all, you segregate your rubbish. So you have let's say, plastic somewhere else, bottles somewhere else, food waste somewhere else. In Ghana, we just mix everything together. And also, eco-conscious citizens and others have asked for the ban on single-use plastic. If you look at our gutters, you look at a lot of the waste, about 80% is single-use plastics. We don't need them. We can do without them. We need the political will to ban single-use plastic. But the question you've asked, we need to start by segregating our rubbish. And then we need to look at other countries who are turning waste into useful material, whether turning it into energy or whatever. We need to look at what can be done with the waste. Because yes, Accra has outgrown itself. I mean, look at the population of Accra as independent. Look at the population now. That's why we're building everywhere, waterways, Ramsar sites, what have you. And that is why some are advocating that the capital should be moved somewhere else, maybe Kintampo, where we build a proper, well-planned green city, whilst we are repairing the damage in Accra. So yes, we need to do something about our waste management system. But we also need to do basic things like segregating our rubbish and making sure that, for example, our plastics are recycled and put to other use rather than taking them to landfill, which are getting full.
Every time when the rains come in, we have these conversations and all that. What reforms will prevent us from having this same conversation next year if the rains come again? Because yes, we are warned by the Ghana Meteorological Agency that we have to embrace ourselves for more rains ahead. Climate activists and all that are also saying because of changing the weather patterns and all that. What reforms can prevent us from having these same conversations all the time?
Yes, you see, I mean, the good Lord sends the rain because we need it for our farmlands, even though a lot of them have been destroyed by illegal mines. We need the rain. But we have to understand that if we build everywhere, there's no space for the runoff. For example, building regulations, you're not supposed to build on every inch of land. But go to continents where, for example, one house is. Now you have so many apartment blocks, where in one apartment block, the next apartment block can hear you cough. What were the building inspectors doing? Now, if we want to stop more loss of life, what we need to do is to enforce our laws and regulations. You cannot make omelets without breaking eggs. You have to be firm. Go to your Ramsar site. You're not supposed to build there. You cannot regularize illegality. What you need to do is remove all the structures in our Ramsar site that are blocking the flow of the water, because the water will have to find somewhere to go, and it may go into other people's homes, and they will be affected. We need to be robust and resolute about enforcing laws and regulations. Otherwise, we're like ostriches. We know the problem, but we refuse to do anything about it. We lament. The next rain comes, as you have rightly said, there's loss of life and property. We lament, and refuse to take the action we have to take. There's no running away from it. The water needs somewhere to go. That is why we have wetlands. That is where the water is stored. That is why we have forest reserves. That is why we have open spaces. That is why you don't cement everywhere in your house. You leave some space for the water. I'm afraid we just need to enforce our laws and regulations, even as the engineers are at work to see what they can also do about the drainage system. But we cannot run away from removing buildings that are illegally there, because I don't believe anybody will give you a building permit to build in a Ramsar site. If they have, they should be found and prosecuted. But if we are not prepared to enforce the laws, we'll keep on having this conversation year after year, going to get worse.
So do you have anything to tell residents who are dealing with this challenge currently, so that they are able to, in a way, prevent, because the waste, still have some amount of water in there, which could be a breeding ground for mosquitoes, eventually malaria and all that. Is there any advice, tips you would like to give residents?
Thank you very much. I think the health authorities will give the adequate advice about how to ensure that we don't have so much malaria and cholera and typhoid because of this situation. But ultimately, residents need to be angry. When you see somebody building where they shouldn't build, and you report it to the authorities, they don't do anything about it, you have to maybe go and demonstrate that, because ultimately, somebody's behavior is going to affect you. You have built where you should build, and because somebody has built on the question, your house at Chado has been flooded. That is not right. So we all have to be pointing out illegal criminal behavior to the authorities. But at the end of the day, it becomes very frustrating when the authorities refuse to act. So I'm appealing to the health authorities to give the necessary advice so that people don't become ill in addition to having their properties destroyed. And I'm also appealing to the authorities to enforce laws and regulations. I'm appealing to LADMA, for instance, to ensure that this double-decker structure on the gutter on plot 105 Obenesu Crescent Cantonment is removed from the gutter. What message are we giving? That you can build in gutters? I mean, really, we need to wake up and we need to enforce laws and regulations. So residents who have been affected, hold the right people accountable, sue them if you yourself haven't built illegally and that is why your house was flooded.
All right, finally, before we take leave of us, 1 year from now, what should Ghanaians in general be expecting if governments really take action?
Well, 1 year from now, I would expect that we are segregating our rubbish. We have banned single-use plastics. We are turning our waste into something useful. And I would expect that all illegal structures have been removed from our Ramsar sites, from our green spaces, and from waterways. That is what I would expect if we are serious.
Thank you very much. Aula Sewa is the Executive Director of Eco-Conscious Citizens, and she has been speaking to us about the waste management system and in general, and also some of the inefficiencies in our environmental issues, people building on waterways indiscriminately, weak enforcement, and all that.
Yeah, and in the conversation we had with her, she's been pointing to one thing, which is the enforcement of the laws.
The laws are there,
they are there
in our books,
but then we need to enforce
it. The issue.
And then she raises another point where now we have to take up the mandate and start pointing out people who build on waterways, people who indiscriminately dispose their refuse. And that is something we need to look at.
We have to take the responsibility.
We have to be each other's keeper. If you see something, you say something. You see that this person is building on a waterway, point it out, report to the relevant authorities. If you see that someone is disposing their refuse in the gutters, which would go and choke the drains,
you don't
and
wait
then
for the environmental health officers in the various assemblies to come and deal with the person. You are the first point of contact.
It's not government alone. It's
a collective effort.
It's a collective effort. Yeah. We citizens are involved. Government will play its role, but let's also take up the mandate and then make sure that we are pointing out these people. And then also she said that we also have to look at ways to convert our waste into something useful.
Exactly.
When you look at countries like Sweden, they are converting their waste into energy. So now we also need to start considering how best can we transform the waste that we produce, we churn out every day. How best can we transform them into something useful? Again, our flood waters, the rain waters. How are we? You know, the flooding brings about a lot of things. Diseases, cholera outbreak, typhoid. Yesterday we had a conversation on it. There will be typhoid outbreak and all of that. We have to look out for that. It's this time that people also take advantage to defecate. Put in fecal matter into these waters.
So they have something they call shock away. So they connect it to a pipe.
And then it goes into.
So they release
why
it when
are you doing
it rains
this?
like that.
Why are you doing this? We need to invest in ways that would mitigate the flood situation in our country. Singapore, for instance, this is how they turn their rainwater into useful means. So they have the drains, and then they have reservoirs. And so the rainwater goes through the drain, it goes through the reservoir, and then they turn it back into drinking water. So it goes back to engineering. We have to start considering these things. We've experienced flooding time and time again, and it looks like there is no intervention inside to address these things.
Because as a country, we seem not to have a roadmap.
Yeah.
We don't have a proper roadmap with regards to flood. So this is how we want to deal with flood. It is there. Every government that comes, no matter what your policies are, you have to tap, it has to be in line.
Yeah.
It has to sync with that national agenda as far as flood is concerned.
Yeah.
But we don't. Everyone comes, they come and start this. This one comes and go.
Yeah.
They also bring up a whole new thing. It ends like that when government changes. And that is what is eating us up. That is why we are still where we are.
And if we
that's
don't take
our capital.
care,
Even if it drizzles more, you have to. That's
I
saw
saw
very
a
concerning.
video where I think bus stop boys, they were going round showing us where the drains are. My goodness. You should see how choked they are.
Because our drains are 99.99% open.
So choked that, I mean, when you see it, there is no way water can pass through this drain.
Yeah, because they are filled,
and
they
so,
are choked with solid waste,
I was
plastics.
happy. Yes, I was happy we partnered Zoom Lion and
for the Clean Up Accra.
Yes, I think it should be maybe quarterly. We should do this on a quarterly basis. Let's take it upon ourselves to clear the drains.
Because when the impact comes, we will feel it the most.
A lot of people have actually been impacted by these floods last week. It would amaze you.
And a week after, they are still dealing with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it will still continue. So we need to put the systems in place. Let's enforce the laws. Be each other's keeper. If you see something, you say something. Don't say, oh, this one is not my business. I don't have any.
Until we take responsibility.
Until it affects you. Until it affects you, you will know whether it's your business or not. But please, let's do the needful. Let's do the needful as a country. It is our collective responsibility. The government can't do it alone. The government
But they have
cannot
to take
do it
charge.
alone.
They have to take the lead.
Yes,
so that
but
we all follow suit. If the laws are there, and for instance, we are residents, you've seen someone dumping refuse into the drain, and you make alarm.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Will you get a sense of motivation to do same if you see it next time?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So the enforcement of, all these assemblies have the bylaws. Now they are in charge of sanitation.
So
what really, aside the National Sanitation Day, which is every first Saturday of every month, what again? Go to Achimota right now, behind the Shell, leading to Gulf Road, down to Christian Village.
Yeah.
The Abuboyas are parked there, the tricycles are
because
parked
they are
there.
unable to offload.
They are unable to offload. There is a site there, it doesn't have that capacity. Can we start a conversation where almost every assembly can have that site where all these tricycles that collect waste from households can go and dump them there, so that maybe later in the day, or we can come, big trucks can come and collect them to the landfill.
Look at this.
Yes.
It's raining.
And it's the same thing everywhere.
Look at this.
Everywhere.
And I'm worried because then if the Aboboya, the tricycle operators are unable to offload, it means these refuse waste we've seen as a result of the flood will remain there. Now
and
the rains would it will wash it back into
the drains,
and then we'll go back to square one.
Same story.
So we have to solve this. Look at this. A lot of plastics. How are we converting these plastics into useful stuff for our country? We need to do better. And Wahab, talk of flooding, the Food and Drugs Authority has warned that we should not consume food retrieved from flood waters. So you remember last Monday during the floods, we saw people picking stuff from the warehouse and all of that. They are saying no. The Food and Drugs Authority, I'm reading this from ChannelOne News Online, says the Food and Drugs Authority has warned the public against accepting, consuming, selling or distributing food and other regulated products recovered from floodwaters following the recent floods in parts of Accra. In a food safety alert issued on Thursday, July 2, the authority said it had observed some unidentified individuals retrieving food products from floodwaters and other affected sites after the June 29 floods. According to the FDA, some of the individuals have also been seen on social media claiming they intend to distribute the recovered items to unsuspecting members of the public, including students. The authority cautioned that it could not guarantee the safety or quality of such products, warning that they may have been contaminated, of course, definitely contaminated by floodwaters and mishandling, posing serious risk to public health. And the authority explained that the floodwaters often contain sewage, chemicals, waste and harmful microorganisms capable of contaminating food, drinking water, food preparation surfaces and storage facilities. The Food and Drugs Authority is saying that reports any suspected sale or distribution of flood, damaged or unsafe food products to the FDA. It said it is working closely with relevant agencies to monitor the safety of food supplies in affected communities and will take the necessary regulatory action to protect public health. The FDA advised. So yes, they are warning the public, do not purchase anything. Do not purchase, we beg you. Do not purchase. The floodwaters contain harmful chemicals. They contain sewage. You don't know where it's coming from. Please don't purchase anything from the floods we experienced.
This shouldn't end with a mere statement online. It should
They
follow
are saying if you see something,
serious
say
market
something.
surveillance.
Yeah.
And of course, yes, the responsibility of us
citizens,
being conscious and also looking at some of these things is there.
Yeah.
But they should also man up serious market surveillance, especially the areas, we all witness these floods. What is there? How are they, dealing with some of it? Because they would definitely end up subsidizing the prices of their products.
Yeah.
And, clean them nicely. People will end up buying consume them.
Yeah.
And that's where the health issues also, start.
Yeah.
From typhoid, diarrhea,
Yes.
because these floodwaters carry all sorts of waste, sewage, industrial waste, you just name them.
Everything is in there.
So it should follow a serious market surveillance to check some of these things. We should
And
just
even the food vendors, like you're saying, there should be surveillance.
Yes, we should be human, a little bit human, right? Of course, you want to maximize profit, but think of the health of your consumers. If today you go get these contaminated products at a subsidized price, and you think, yes, because of that, you can get more profit, people will come and buy, consume them, will go ill and will not return to you.
Yeah.
You will definitely collapse your business. So let's not be too profit focused, neglecting the human and health impact of some of these decisions if we dare make them.
Yeah.
So let's be conscious.
Yeah,
and of course, we among ourselves, as you mentioned too, we should be on the watch out.
Yes. Let's be on the watch out.
For some of these people to book.
Yeah. I mean, the relief is good. It's good that some relief has come. But beyond the relief, what are we doing? Beyond the relief, let's make sure that we put measures in place to address so you see the flooding, there's a ripple effect. Sanitation is under threat. public health is under threat. So this is the time where you
even
would
the economy,
see,
it actually has a lot of legs.
Typhoid and cholera outbreak. So we have to be alert. A lot of things are under threat.
Yeah.
It's not just properties that have been lost.
The environment.
No. You saw in the reports, homes, they can't dispose of their refuse.
It's there. And
it's sitting there. It will rain and it will wash them back into the gutters and
we come back complain.
So there's a problem. Sanitation is under threat. Public health is also under threat. So beyond the relief, let's also focus on these things. How best are we dealing with sanitation? How best are we dealing with our public health, which is under threat? This has been our community segment. Please do stay safe, as the Food and Drugs Authority has cautioned us. Desist. In fact, do not buy anything from the flooding. Don't. It's harmful to your health. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the show continues.
I don't like the way you talk. You talk like you know me. You're just a razor mount. I do things to please me. I don't like to beg for things. I make moves on the low key. It's just the way I am. You mad? I don't care. I will live my life and do my things to get free. You mad? I don't care. You mad? I don't care. I will live my life and do my things to get free. You mad? I don't care. Seems like you're pissed off. I don't live the way you want. You holding connections. I don't have to shock you. Your ways is your standard. No one can dispute that. But your ways is my ways. We're both on different races. You mad? I don't care. I will live my life and do my things to get free. You mad? I don't care. You mad? I don't care. I will live my life and do my things to get free. You mad? I don't care. When my light to shine, even without your help, I do very fine. Pray that you used to be here when my light to shine, even without your help, I do very fine. You mad? I don't care. I will live my life and do my things to get free. You mad? I don't care. You mad? I don't care. I will live my life and do it. This not be what you promised. If I see your text, then I panic. My heart to skip, you hurt me. You make I feel lost in public. This not be what you promised. See how you left me defeated. How you feel be so heartless. You make I feel say you the love me and you there for me. I give you my heart and you break it down. You show me shame. Show me shame. Show me shame. Show me shame. Happy place. Open up his eyes, it seems far away, and it feels like living in space. His intuition is telling him he's run out of choices. Looks like he's living in a bubble of poison. Goes around with a smile and charade, hoping his eye could give him some shit. When the day is done, he breaks down crying, asks, so God is for me, and it feels like I'm drowning into a water of grenade. It's like an avalanche, mountains of emotions, hills of desperation, leaves of aggravation, and it feels like knock me out. To the wall, don't care if I fall. My loyalty is my cause, and you taking it tough. My hand there, your mouth, so you dey bite me in peace. I know for talk, cause you dey give me some meat. And one day hunter will be haunted. One day I will be free. Free. Say I be dull, you think say I be dumb. Just run me the fall. Use me no be small. Don't say I be dull, you think say I be dumb. The things you do me the pain, I see it is off for your gain. You know they care if I'm drained. I'm always giving my all. You know they see them at all. You always calling my faults. Like the ocean, I will change the tides. You don't know what's coming for you. Like the white cat, you will see the signs. Easy, never tell. Use me not be small. Don't be say I be dull. Think say I be dumb. Just one metaphor. Use me not be small. Don't be say I be dull. You think say I be dumb. You were teaching me how to walk through fire. But that you were wasting my time.
That was a good one from Accra, alternative rock band, giving us some good music for a Monday morning. I had fun. I was having fun in the studio. I couldn't help but let you see the fun I'm having. But now that we've had fun, I want you to do something for me. Log on to ChannelOneNewsOnline.com. Yes. Are you there? Okay. Now, visit the books and literature section. Are you there? Okay, great. Now, look for the golden couple of Mabre Nkwanta. Type it. The golden couple of Mabre Nkwanta. And voila, there you have it. Episode 3 is out already. I've had fun reading episode 1, episode 2. Now episode 3 is out. And so I want you to have fun. Read the intriguing tales about Mabre Nkwanta. Then you can send us a message and tell us what you think about this beautiful masterpiece. So yeah, there you have it on your screen. Mabre Nkwanta Chronicles episode 3 is very, very, very much alive on ChannelOneNewsOnline.com. And so log on to it, the books and literature section. You can read it, have fun. If you love literature, I recommend this for you. Have fun reading Mabre Nkwanta Chronicles. And now that we're in the World Cup season, the World Cup hasn't ended yet. No. Countries are still going back to their country.
Although Ghana is even back to our homeland.
Must you remind us of our pain?
But we are back.
It's enough. It's okay. Don't remind us of our pain.
We are.
So yeah, we are back to our country. Jordan Ayew is coming back to our country. Several countries are out. We only have Morocco and Egypt in the game now. We hope they make it to maybe semi-finals, but I'm rooting for Morocco.
Why not finals? Why are you limiting them to semi-final?
I'll tell you something behind the scenes, but I'm rooting for Morocco to make it. So tune in to the World Cup Central on ChannelOne TV every Friday at 3 p.m. Your host, Gabi Ofe, and his amazing panelists will be taking us through everything, dissecting everything pertaining to the FIFA World Cup 2026. It's exciting, it's informative, it's educative. You would have fun watching the World Cup Central on ChannelOne TV with Gabi Ofe. Learn some history about the World Cup, get to know some players, get to understand why some players are doing well, others are not. They would analyze all that for you on World Cup Central. And then also, Wahab, talk to us about ChannelOne Community Legend.
You know, in every community, we have those unsung heroes that are doing so well, but a little to nothing is being heard about them. So that is what we here at ChannelOne Television have taken upon ourselves to amplify the voices and the work that these heroes in our various communities are doing. So we started with 100 entries, and we've been able to, you know, sift it down to 10. So we are telling the stories of these 10 amazing individuals in our various communities who are doing different things. So on every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., Omar Sanda Amadu and Akusi Otre, they sit with these amazing individuals and bring forth their stories, just so it serves as a source of inspiration to others to also do well. The problems in our community are so many that just one person cannot do. So if we all join hands, yes, then gradually we're able to eradicate those problems. So every Wednesday on ChannelOne TV, tune in, because Akosi Otre and Omar Sanda Amado will be sitting with these amazing individuals as they bring their stories to light.
And then, drums rolling.
Hey.
The Literacy Challenge 2026 is here. I'm excited because the children who will be partaking in this competition, oh my goodness, they are so privileged. Sometimes when I see competitions like this, I wish I was 15
just
or
so you can
12.
Participate.
Yeah. And so the Literacy Challenge for pre-secondary students, that is it. The pre-secondary students.
The emphasis.
Yes, it's for pre-secondary students. And so bear that in mind. And this year, they are writing on the topic. In not less than 600 words, write a letter to the Minister of Education as a youth consultant discussing the advantages and disadvantages of the use of artificial intelligence in education, advice on how Ghana can effectively integrate AI into basic schools to improve teaching and learning, while ensuring that students in rural and underserved communities are not left behind. That is the topic.
And the last sentence, you know, or let me say the second part of the last sentence, while ensuring that students in rural and underserved communities are not left behind.
Yes, yes. And you know, this year's literacy challenge takes this form. Every nook and cranny of the country, every child in every nook and cranny of the country has that opportunity to be part of this year's competition. So all the 16 regions in the country, if you're a child, you're between the ages of 11 to 15 years only, please take advantage of this golden opportunity. Take out the topic, write your own essay in your own handwriting, your own handwriting.
No typing. We have computers here, we have laptops, we can equally type, but let the children write.
Yes.
Let's see their beautiful handwriting. Yeah.
Add your full contact details. It has to be endorsed by a parent, a guardian, or a teacher. And then you post it to the Literacy Challenge P.O. Box GP 14123 Accra Central. I take it again. The Literacy Challenge P.O. Box GP 14123 Accra Central.
Maybe you have to repeat the post. Yeah.
So the post is the Literacy Challenge P.O. Box GP 14123 GP 14123 Accra Central.
Alternatively, how can people also post or submit their written
yes, so you
letter?
can also submit it to our premises here in Tesano, ChannelOne TV premises. You just visit the front desk. There's a beautiful lady there. Leave it with her, and then she would get it to the right persons. And deadline for submission of entries is 20th of July, 5 p.m. on the dot, not 5:01.
If you come 5:01,
not 5:02.
Time.
No.
Yes.
Not 5 seconds. No. It's 5 p.m. on the dot. You have to make this submission and get to be part of this year's challenge. You can call 0205 973 973 and be part of this. Make all the enquiries you need to make and be part of this. Wahab, I'm excited because now the net is
opened.
The sea is wide,
yes.
It's big. Every child
can get the
opportunity in the country
to
can
also
get
participate.
The opportunity to be part of it. And so no one is left behind. No one is left behind.
We've opened our doors.
Yes.
Just, give it a try. Who knows?
You never know.
It could be yours that will be selected.
Never know.
So
and parents should also encourage their wards to partake in this competition. Out of this, after the entries have been received, we would shortlist 100 people. First, it used to be top 50.
But now we've broadened it up, open
so now,
to give more people opportunity to also be
now in the top 100 will be sitting for the aptitude test. So this is the first part. The first part of the competition. You have to write an essay.
After bringing us your essays, we will now do justify your inclusion.
So it's just like the World Cup. So you have to go
Group
through,
stage.
to the final
kickoff.
Yeah.
Right,
so this is just part of the first stage. Then you sit down for the aptitude test. And the aptitude test, we are testing everything: current affairs, math, science, literature, English, everything, every aspect.
You want to be sure that you are versed in all these areas.
Yes.
Your
so
horizons
are
wide open.
You have to read wide and make sure that you excel in the aptitude test. Then when you move on from the aptitude test, you go on to the next stage. Yeah. And then that is where the real competition begins. So yeah, if you're a child between the ages of 11 and 15, if you're 16, I'm sorry, you can't partake.
Even if you are 15 years, 1 year old, no, you will not qualify.
You can't partake.
Years.
Yeah. So if you're 15 years, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, make the effort. Whatever community you are, whether you are in Nkwanta, Yendi, Hohoi, Ho, wherever you are in this country, make sure you partake in this competition.
That is why we have the post number. You don't have an excuse to give that maybe you cannot come directly here to submit your essays. No, that is not an excuse. You can just submit it via the posts, and just like that, you are gone. So the post is the Literacy Challenge, P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central. So you just post it, and just like that, we will have them. But for those submitting via post, you have to be on time. Yes, you have to be in time. If you have submitted in person, yes, you can submit when it's even like 48, 59, but you know the issue, the delays, traffic, and all that. So let's be time conscious. But parents, of course, encourage your wards and teachers as well, so that they get to participate in this competition.
All right, so that has been our show for you this morning. A beautiful and exciting episode of Breakfast Daily here on ChannelOne TV. Please do stay safe, as the Ghana Meteorological Authority has warned, and FDA is also warning, do not buy anything that came out of as a result of the flooding last week, Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch you same time tomorrow, bright and early. I am Dede Davis.
And I am Wahab Abdulrazak. Enjoy the rest of our programs.
Bye.